There is an issue. Rumble has let me down. So I usually use the Rumble Studio to broadcast because they prefer that you do it that way. And of course, the Rumble Studio is not broadcasting to anything except Rumble and YouTube, which is not good. So, wow, that is absolute fucking shit because most of my viewers are on Kick, so I can't just like not do that. And it's just not working. Like if I try to restart it, it just doesn't work. There is an issue. Then my fucking stream plays back. Okay. So what I'm gonna have to do is log in to Restream, which is the old thing that I was using, and try to set that up real quick. Dude, it's just a fucking nightmare how this shit works. And this, of course, is one of the... I sit down and I try very hard to make sure that everything is working correctly. And then the one thing I can't test, which is Rumble, doesn't work. Okay. How can I do this? Coder details? Okay, that works. What I'm gonna do is add only. It doesn't even connect. It's so weird. It doesn't even connect to any of that. Okay. Did I put something on to like entertain my audience while I try and fail to do an internet broadcast? Maybe I should just do wallpaper. See, this is the really fun thing. So I have to type this all in by hand now. I should. You know what? I'll just put wallpaper on. Give me like a second, okay? Give me a second as I pretend to be professional. Wallpaper, MacLeod. Okay, be right back. Is there any point in pretending that this is not the intro music for this episode? I think it's all working now. Okay, so here's what I had to do, right? I used Restream to stream into Rumble Studio, which is then restreaming into both YouTube and Rumble. And then, of course, as soon as I set up Restream, it said that it was working with all the other ones. So, dude, I honestly, I might supposedly there may be an opportunity that Kick will ask me to go exclusive, and I don't think that that's the case, but if they do, I just might, because I'm getting pretty fucking irritated. Okay, no, actually, this was it's supposed to be the intro song. Hold up. Let me find it real quick, okay? Oh, no, hold up. That's a spoiler. Okay, that's a spoiler. That's supposed to... Okay, I think this is it, right? The last thing a troon shooter hears before blowing their own brains out after a failed mass shooting. Here we go. I have the shardy version of this song that I think I'll play. I think that they did a better job with the A and B here. So that's how I got introduced to that song. I'm like, oh my god, this is awful. As it turns out, troons are now making music, and that's what their music sounds like. I was going to I was going to show you a picture. Actually, I can just go to the name of the artist, or quote unquote artist, is a guy called Femtanyl. Right, like fentanyl, but fem, and this is what he posts on Zitter. You ready? This is the artist of that song. Wow, so feminine, bro. You have a pooch. Doesn't make you a woman, unfortunately. So this is what the kids are listening to these days. They listen to straight up just fucking tranny emo music. Incredible, awesome, very inspiring. So. I need the Neil Mahan hamster, I think. Yes, that's correct. Neil Maham, as a matter of fact. You may notice, and I apologize for this downgrade. Everything about my streams is just a straight fucking downgrade, but the bullets in the background no longer have names. That is because the text rendering for that was what was causing the lag. So now you guys can dump as many bullets as you want. They will still form a bullet neutron star if you get too many, but it won't lag while doing so. Is the upscale. There is some political stuff. I think a lot of political stuff. Not too much happening in the lolcow sphere. And I guess I don't know if maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe I should see what the kids are up to with their lolcow content. Because apparently, the aged elderly home of staples that I have, they're literally dying. They're dying of fucking age at this point. I need to up my game, and I need to do the Keemstar. I gotta start up my TikTok and start flossing, like on TikTok. Unfortunately, my kitchen isn't as nice as Keemstar because I never grifted as well as he did, but maybe that can change one day. Maybe I can change that. I do have some weird shit to cover, actually. I finally got my mail. It's been over a year since my last mail run, but I have gotten the assorted collectibles in from the mail that has been sent to me. Don't send any mail to the P.O. box if I'm not expecting it, because it will be thrown out. But give you an idea of what kind of mail I'm receiving. Me, the Kang, Tithe, Silver. Very respectable, very enjoyable. All right, let's start with the news. Now, the mystery of why my account was unbanned has been unraveled. Representative Jim Jordan, who I believe is the chair of the House Finance Committee, has put Neil Mahan's dirty, unwashed feet to the fire, the most pungent smoke emitting from them. And as a result, they have pledged to unban certain people that were banned during the Biden administration for quote-unquote misinformation. But it really seems to be a vast swath of politically motivated bans across the board, including these channels that were unbanned: The Cynical Cynic, River Sales, and Handsome Luke, which were try-hard community archivers. So for whatever reason, these accounts were all unbanned. Definitely my account, because I made no appeal. I was not given an opportunity. I didn't ask for anything. It's been years since I even engaged with the account in any way, but they just randomly unbanned it. So definitely a bunch of people were caught up in some nebulous, pissed off the Biden administration somehow sweep, and mine was included in that, unfortunately. So happy to be back, I guess. Hopefully something will be done to stop the administration from, in the future, pressuring people into getting banned from YouTube. No, yes. No, we're just going to have massive corporations that control the most important archives and media that has ever been seen by mankind. And we're just going to let dirty jeets like fucking Neil Mahan decide who gets to stay, who gets to go, what channels stay up, what channels don't, who gets paid. We're just going to let Neil Mahan decide. Neil Mahan, that's the guy. He just gets to decide. And if anyone scares him, he'll ban entire channels over years and not make a peep about it. Okay, so nothing's changing. Okay, great, cool, awesome. Next, small update in the case of Kiwi Farms and 4chan versus OFCOM. They have been served. Here we have a nice affidavit from the United Kingdom. It comes with a wax seal, chat. There is a wax seal now involved in this because apparently the British still use wax seals for affidavits. It says here, I, Jonathan Wood for ASH UK Process Servers Limited, will state on oath that I am the process server acting under the direction of Pricecool & Co. LLP. That the affidavit has been prepared based on evidence collated by myself. That on Wednesday, the UK Office of Communications with this, I did serve the UK Office of Communications with a civil action and complaint. And at the time of service, I entered the main reception for the building. It was found that there was a set of glass double doors leading into the reception area for OFCOM. I met with the security guard in the main reception area, who initially confirmed himself to be an employee of OFCOM, but backtracked when questioned further. He denied me access to the reception area of OFCOM. Despite that, reception staff for OFCOM were watching our interaction through the glass doors. I explained I had legal documents to deliver to OFCOM, but the security guard would not allow me to access. I did therefore leave the paperwork in the main reception area of the building in the presence of the security guard, knowing OFCOM to be within the building and that it would come to their attention. Reception staff of OFCOM witnessed me serve the paperwork through the glass doors. A photocopy of the document served by me is now attached and marked A. So they were so afraid of this man and his papers that they literally pulled an Ethan Ralph and hid and had security refuse to let him enter because the might of the United States was pounding down on their faces and they could not stand up to it. Very typical for Angloids living in fear, cowering behind doors, waiting for America to come along and do things for them. Very typical, chat. Meanwhile, in the United States, I have no further updates with that, by the way. There's like a political game going on. I don't want to say too much because I believe Trump was in Windsor for the week, and on the same day Trump was in Windsor, that they were served and the case was updated, which may have significance. I don't know. Trump has been bullying the UK relentlessly about being a bunch of gay cuckolds, so maybe that has some significance, chat. There was an update. I think I may have mentioned this last stream. But I don't think I touched on just exactly how gay this was. The assassin that was identified to be a troon that tried to assassinate Brett Kavanaugh, the judge, the Supreme Court justice, he was actually a sissy slave trans gamer girl. He has, yes, changed his name to Sophie and is trying to get into a female prison now. But I did not actually disclose that he was a sissy slave gamer girl. So I figured I would bring that to your attention now because it would serve some purpose. Is there like a picture of this guy? Of this trans sissy slave gamer girl? I don't think so. Is that him? No. Oh, wait. Did he repost this? No, I guess not. Okay, cool. The Trump administration has kind of rug pulled people because there's been multiple stories of this. And I believe what we have as a final version is not what people had hoped for. I mentioned that Trump had signed an executive order last stream that would greatly upset the balance of power and Indian people in particular, thankfully, by adding a $100,000 per year fee to any H-1B visa given out to anybody in the world. But since Indians and Chinese people are the number one recipients by like 80% or more, it would mostly impact them. What we were not told is that this would only be for new applications and it would only be for one time. So it's not per year for everybody. It is once for new applications moving forward. So the 10, 20 million Indians here on legal visas who are currently occupying CDL driving positions, Neil Mahan, all of Neil Mahan's GIMP slaves and YouTube headquarters, completely unimpacted, not increasing their rates at all. And of course, this only impacts the H-1B visa, as opposed to any of the other myriad of visas that still have a significant impact. The main one that people are looking at is, I think, the L1 visa. And as I explained, the L1 visa is like a transfer. So if you're Oracle and you're ran by a Jeet, and you open a headquarters for Oracle in India, and every single big company in the entire world has custom software that they have to train people to use. If you know somebody or train somebody in India to use custom software in your company, and then a position opens up in the United States that requires trained understanding of that custom software, you can get an L1 visa to import them from India to the United States, basically no questions asked. So as long as they have an office in India, they can train people and get L1 visas and hand them out like candy. So the fight is far from over. The actual executive order and the changes to the H-1B are far from complete. By the way, since I have a gold checkmark Twitter account for USIPs, I get emails from X for my advertiser account because they want me to buy advertiser credits. There was some kind of like rumor or speculation that X, after the Christmas thing where Vivek Ramaswamy declared all Americans to be lazy people who had too many sleepovers and watched too many reruns of Friends while playing football to ever be useful, and therefore the Hindus deserve to run the entire country because they're just so much better than us in every way, shape, and form. There was some speculation that Elon had gotten rid of his Indians. I get emails basically every single day from X advertising, and I can promise you that there are still Indians working at X because I can't pronounce that fucking name if my life depended on it. So much work to be done. I wrote my reps. I think everyone should get into the habit of writing the reps. I haven't pulled this up, but let me go ahead and find the last time I wrote my reps chat. And apparently this is the next thing that I'm going to have to do. Here, I'll just pull these up real quick. Is I have to change my signature because people are complaining that my signature is not serious enough. So it's like, okay, sure, whatever. I'll make some bullshit ass fucking signature and I'll print that on paper instead of how I actually sign my name because apparently some people don't like my signature. So I was like, whatever. No point complaining about it because I guess that's just how the human mind works. If someone doesn't have a fucking fake ass signature they don't actually sign their name with, then that you can't fucking read because it doesn't have any letters. Let's see. The first thing is I sent a letter to the judiciary for overturning the YouTube stuff and bashing them. I sent another one. This is in regards to the IRS. They put out a form asking for what counts as if you're a YouTuber or if you do anything involving tips, go to the USIP's Twitter account and open this registrar and submit a comment. Because it is the IRS is trying to be sneaky. They don't want to actually comply with Trump's law and make it so that tips are tax free. So their definition is very narrow, and it may not include like super chats because it's technically like a service to them because you get like a message read or whatever. So I submitted a comment saying, "Go fuck yourself. The IRS is a bunch of fucking bastards." And if you are in a tip related industry, you might want to submit a comment, or if you do YouTube and stuff, you might want to submit a comment saying like, this is bullshit. Actually give Trump what was passed by law, you cocksuckers. Because it should be tax free. Then this was to support the Prime Act. I actually wrote a bunch of people for this. I remember, if you don't remember, I complained on stream about how the United States' food network is like the worst goddamn thing to ever exist because basically every piece of food that you put into your mouth has traveled at least 1,000 kilometers to get there, whereas in Europe it's like 100. And the reason for that is that we grow these huge monocultures, and the reason why we do this is because it's cheaper. But then we just sell that food overseas anyways, so it doesn't even matter. So the Prime Act is one example of why the United States is full on pants on head fucking retardville. So to buy beef in the United States, and this applies to a lot of stuff, I think the rules are slightly different with chicken, but with beef and lamb and stuff, it's definitely this way. The beef has to be slaughtered in a USDA-approved slaughterhouse. There are 700 of these throughout the entire country. 85% are owned by the same 4 companies. 2 of them are outright Brazilian. They're just Brazilian. Brazil handles 50% of our entire beef industry. For what reason, I don't know. The other 2 are American, but they have significant investments in China. And if you have significant investments in China, you are not ran for American interests. Chinese interests always win in these companies. So 85% of of all beef slaughtering houses in the United States are ran by 4 companies. And if you want to sell beef, you have to slaughter them at these facilities, which means that if you have a neighbor who has a cow and you want to buy a steak from that neighbor, you can't do so without it first going through a USDA slaughterhouse. And then supposedly there's like a way to keep track of it, but because of the costs and logistics involved, unless you have a nearby slaughterhouse, almost everybody just sells their cows to go get slaughtered, and they just take the money and they go buy a steak at Walmart, even if they have a fucking butchery, because it's just cheaper that way because we're insane. So the way that this bill would change that is if you slaughter a cow in your state of Florida, you would be able to sell that beef to anybody in the state of Florida without any USDA oversight. And if Florida passed their own rules, then you'd have to comply with that. But it would basically allow farmers to sell beef that they slaughtered themselves, which I believe is a good thing. Some people were like, but what if this benefits an Indian indirectly? And it's like, I don't care. Why do you not believe that Indians and Mexicans are the ones employed by the Brazilian company to slaughter your beef to begin with? I guarantee you they are. I bet you if you go look at the hands of the people slaughtering your beef at these 4 facilities, I bet you they're brown. I don't know what you want. So, can't you buy it at a farmer's market? No. I just explained. If you sell a steak in the United States, you must have it slaughtered at a USDA facility. And if you're not going to drag the cow up there yourself and bring the meat back yourself, you're very likely going to sell it to a company. So anytime you see, like, if you ever see like a farmer's market and they're selling produce, 90% of the time that produce is bought from a store and being sold. They just get a crate at Walmart. So yeah, it's bullshit. And we have such a crippled loser logistical system. Like, nobody grows food, nobody eats local, nobody can buy their neighbor's cow. If the Amish in Pennsylvania tried to sell beef cut that they slaughtered themselves online, and the idea is that there's a rule around this. If you buy an entire cow or half a cow, you can get custom meat. But obviously, most people can't buy $1,000 of beef, and they can't put it anywhere. Most people can't. So what they did is the Amish tried to sell an entire cow to subscribers who would buy a reasonable amount of that cow each, and then that would count as custom meat. The USDA broke in. They took all of their shit. They seized up their entire farm. They arrested people. They started fining them tens of thousands of dollars. So the guy's like, what about the brown hands that might benefit from this? The USDA only enforces their law as it is against Amish people because they're white. So that's the issue. And it's so frustrating because you guys don't know, unless you've lived in Europe, you don't know that, like, the majority of food in Europe is grown in the region it's eaten in. The majority of it. They grow it in throughout Germany. They grow it throughout the Netherlands. They grow it in Denmark. They grow it in France and the United States. I've driven through the entire U.S. now. What do you see? In Arkansas, you see rice. Guess where that rice is going? China. You hit the Midwest. What do you see? Soybeans. Where's that soybean going? China. You hit up north, you see corn. Where's that corn going? It's going into a giant fucking pit so they can rot it and make ethanol because that's subsidized. Do you eat any of that? No. Where does your food actually come from? Peru. I went to the store. I was trying to find tomatoes, and I was looking at all the tomatoes to see which one was grown in the U.S. None of them were grown in the U.S. They were grown in Canada. Our logistical system is so fucking nightmarish that a warm climate Mediterranean, well, it's not from the Mediterranean, but it's famous in the Mediterranean. A warm climate plant is somehow easier to buy from fucking Canada and be sold in Florida. That is how retarded we are. We're fucking cattle. We're full-blown fucking retards. You can't persuade me that we can't somehow make it easier to get a tomato in fucking Florida than importing it from fucking Canada. So it makes me angry because it's like we eat shit. We eat slop fucking food imported from a third world country like Canada. And I can't stress enough, food security is national security. If we go to a war with China and they start sinking boats that are carrying food from Peru, we just starve, apparently, unless you're going to start eating inedible corn, rice, and soy. That's it. Once the rations start getting put in the United States and we no longer get any of our imports from Latin America where all of our food is grown, you're going to be eating a diet of soy and rice like you're a fucking bug. Cool. Next. ABC was shot at by a gunman. This is actually incredible to me. I can't even fucking believe that this is a real thing. But there was an ABC station in Sacramento, so shithole California, where there is no violence because guns were banned. I've been told that gun control works. So here we have Sacramento, California. ABC station was shot at. Nobody was hurt, thankfully. But guess what? Brown man. Annabelle Hernandez Santana. And what was he upset about? He was upset about Jimmy Kimmel going off the air. This brown man named Annabelle Santana was so angry about the censorship of Jimmy Kimmel that he went to an ABC station and just shot through the windows in a fit of rage, and he was arrested. And you know what's really, really, really fucking sad about this? Oh, let me get through this first. But here's some of his tweets. They found him. Just open a couple at random, right? And then I'll click pictures of cars because I have to click a picture of a car to get access to the internet these days. Because we're that fucking... The internet's that fucking unusable. Santana says the authoritarian oligarchy is now complete. CBS Plus caving, big law firms in DC, the subservient FBI and AG, university presidents stepping down, fanboy SCOTUS, political radio, ICE goons. We are going to have to fight like hell. Rules don't apply if the election was stolen. Fight, he says. The race war has begun, and Trump started it. When you order the state security apparatus to profile brown people, arrest them and deport them, including residents and spouses with legal status who are protected by asylum or on their way to immigration appointments, that violence is illegal. And then my starting lineup of anti-Trump's heroes: LTC Vindman, Jen Mark Miley, Riley Hill, Rep Liz Cheney, Rep Adam Kinzinger, retired Judge Michael Ludig, Cass Hutchinson. So he's basically telling people who this is who you should shoot, right? And then in the actual indictment we have down here in C, Hernandez Santana should be detained because there is no condition or combination of conditions that can reasonably assure the safety of the community and his appearance. In making a determination of whether a combination of conditions will reasonably assure the appearance of the defendant, the court must look at factors set forth. These include the natures and circumstance of the offense, the weight of the evidence, and the history of the defendant, and the nature and seriousness of the danger to the person. Santana poses a danger to the community. If released, he is charged with serious violent offenses in connection with shooting into the air in the direction of a television station while within a school zone, and then driving around the block to shoot 3 times directly into the station's lobby, which was occupied at the time. This was not a brief ideation. Santana had evidently planned out his attack on a television station, as demonstrated by the fact that he wrote a weekly planner attached to his refrigerator, quote, "Do the next scary thing." What's more, the evidence suggests Santana wanted to commit future violent acts. The handwritten note found in Santana's vehicle, which states the following, that for hiding Epstein and ignoring red flags, do not support Patel, Bongino, and AG Pambondi. They're next. CK from above. Indicates that he may have been planning additional acts of violence. Law enforcement found 1 pistol during the searches of his home, which matched the caliber used during the shootings, and while that was the only firearm that law enforcement found, database checks revealed he purchased records for additional firearms under his name. Accordingly, there's the possibility that Santana has other guns, which are unknown to the FBI. So this is completely and totally a premeditated attack on a news station, which, by the way, is an additional felony to interrupt a broadcast by an act of terrorism, and then attempting to disrupt it because he was upset that Jimmy Kimmel was off the air for 3 days. Because immediately after this, Disney announced that after discussion with ABC and Jimmy Kimmel, they reached an understanding and Jimmy Kimmel will be going back on the air, which just goes to show you that terrorism works when you're on the left. A guy can shoot up a ABC station and they'll immediately just give him what he wants and show him that, yeah, violent intimidation is actually the way to go. We are going to give you everything that you asked for. Sinclair was not so impressed and said that Jimmy Kimmel will be preempted on their networks, regardless of whether ABC and Disney would like him to return. And the Next Star Media Group also said they will continue to preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live, regardless of if Disney will continue to pay to produce more episodes of his show. So that's the update with Jimmy Kimmel. Nobody even heard about this Santana guy, I guess because nobody died. So it just kind of got swept under the rug. But yeah, they are literally upset that their TV show advocating for violence is taken down. So they start shooting at you. That's just their immediate go-to response these days. kind of in the same fallout as that. In the game Ready or Not, which apparently is really popular with people who are into like super strategic, slow games that they can't be asked to play. A guy named Mikhail Kaminsky made a statement that Charlie Kirk is better off dead, and that Ready or Not are happy that he's gone, which caused the actual production company of the game to freak the fuck out and immediately fire him. He was a community manager. I don't know what it is with community managers and being like the dumbest fucking cunts on the face of the planet, but he immediately got fired from his position. And then they released a statement condemning him, saying, "To Ready or Not community, we are aware of comments made by our community manager about a recent tragic event. These statements do not reflect our values or represent our company. We have ended our relationship with this individual and reminded our team of the responsibility we all share when communicating on public platforms. Our focus remains on fostering a respectful and professional community around Ready or Not. Sincerely, Void Interactive." So that's what happened with that. There was a statement made by Trump, and I want to play this because it's funny. Just want to see the video here.
And then he just will add on, "Charlie loved it when I did this stuff," over and over again.
Influencers and others in our society who greeted his assassination with sick approval, excuses, or even jubilation. You've heard that. So have I. Couldn't believe it.
He's coming
Some of the very same
influencers.
people who spent the last 8 years trying to sit in moral judgment of anyone who disagreed with them about politics suddenly started cheering for a murder. Incredible. You know the names. They're major losers, by the way. That will be proven out in a short period of time. Some of the very people who call you a hater for using the wrong pronoun were filled with glee at the killing of a father with 2 beautiful young children. And the same commentators who this week are screaming fascism over a canceled late-night TV show where the anchor had no talent and no ratings. Last week we're implying that Charlie Kirk deserved what happened to him. No side in American politics has a monopoly on disturbed or misguided people.
God.
But there's one part of our political community which believes they have a monopoly on truth, goodness, and virtue, and concludes they have also a monopoly on power, thought, and speech.
I love Donald Trump, Mr. President. I love you so much.
That's not happening anymore. We've turned that corner very quickly. Tragically, atrocities of this kind, and kind that we saw in Utah, of all places, are the eventual consequence of that kind of thinking. If speech is violence, then some are bound to conclude that violence is justified.
The guy that made this post was like, you can see his butthole tighten in real time as he is so scared. He's laughing at this. He's so desperate, so excited at the prospect that Trump might call him out and make him like the epicenter of the left. They just gotta like chuck him in Gitmo, like silently. They gotta leave people wondering what the fuck happened to him for at least like a couple weeks before like a statement is made that like, oh yeah, he's in Gitmo. We're investigating his ties to Antifa, a terrorist organization. We just gotta do that. Like until that happens, he's just over the fucking moon that he's considered the bad guy. It makes him really excited. Like you can just see how happy he is. He thinks it's a big fucking joke. He'll keep calling for people to be shot too, and then when they get shot, he'll laugh at them. He's a Muslim. I don't know. He's a Turkish Muslim. Muslims hate you. I don't know if you guys need that spelled out, but they think it's really funny when you get shot in the neck. They think it's hilarious, actually. And then this person I've never talked about before. They have a very small thread, but it was asked of me that I talk about this. Rebekah Jones was some. Actually, I have talked about this person. She worked in Florida for the Florida Department of Health, and during COVID, to spite Ron DeSantis, she released or compromised a bunch of state-related medical records in regards to COVID, And despite this, nothing really came about it, and she was fired instead of being charged with like cyber terrorism or whatever the fuck. And then bunch of media people proclaimed her to be like a saint, like a new whistleblower WikiLeaks type, despite the fact that nothing material came out of this. But she's still around. I believe she has a pretty big following. I want to say, I could be wrong. Let me check. I want to say that she has a big following. She's a white girl that's a liberal, so therefore the Coomers are going to follow her on Twitter, I bet. She's a based whitey girl. Therefore, we don't have to feel racially bad about following her. Brand for... Where's her Twitter? I guess I just have to type it in. Geo Rebekah. Rebecca spelled retarded. Geo Rebekah. Oh, I have her blocked. I wonder what... 330,000 followers? That's crazy. Mesoscale News at the nexus of climate and people. Yeah, I definitely would have blocked her. 1,000 likes on that, but only 17 on this. Oh, because it's a Substack link. You don't get to share Substack links on X. That's the best way possible to get completely and totally blacklisted by Elon Musk. There's nothing that Elon Musk hates more than fucking Substack. And what's funny is that Substack is like anti-censorship. Substack is pretty fucking based, and they have a bunch of different people on across the aisle, all over the place, and they don't censor people as hard as certain platforms do. But that's threatening to Elon Musk. It hurts Elon Musk's big baby feelings when other people do the Twitter tang and people like it. Wow. So if you try to post a Substack link, it doesn't embed the OpenGL. You'll see that there's no box there. Apparently, I can't comment because it's limited, but. On top of that, it's a Substack link. So 300,000 followers, but only gets as many likes on tweets as I do. That's pretty embarrassing. I ask you to join against racism and white supremacy on October 14th. No. MAGA Brainworm is thinking that greasy Nosferatu. Lady, you cannot call a Jew a fucking vampire. That is anti-Semitic. Who's this? Is this her? Who's this? I like faceblind. Oh my god, she looks dreadful. Okay. So this is what she's up to. Apparently this was a big zeet. Let's check it out. You ready? That's Angelina Jolie. Okay. I don't care. I have no interest in Angelina Jolie. Isn't she married to Brad Pitt? Didn't Brad Pitt jump on Oprah's couch and say that he loved her and they got married before L. Ron Hubbard or something? Something like that. No, that's Katie Holmes. That's Tom Cruise. Okay. Tom Cruise jumped on the couch and he loved Katie Holmes. Who did Angelina Jolie? Brad Pitt. Okay. I got you. Dude, I love everyone who's like, oh my god, Josh doesn't know about contemporary mid-2000s celebrities. That's so cringe. He's supposed to be like a podcaster. He's supposed to know about stuff. Why does he not know about Angelina Jolie? Okay, they got divorced. Okay, cool. Here's what it says. You ready? She says, fine, I'll say it. The podcaster who was killed in Utah was a fucking creep. Goofy-ass looking grown man. Lady... Listen here. You got the fucking short hair with the bright red Big Mama hoe lipsticks. You're only missing the hoops. I don't want to hear this shit about fucking goofy ass looking. Goofy ass looking grown man who flunked out of college and could never let it go. He grifted off completely fabricated stories about oppression against conservatives. His entire... he was shot in the fucking neck. I think that he proved his point. His entire persona was a gimmick steeped in theocratic and white supremacy. He was a bigoted, racist, homophobic, sexist piece of shit. He participated in an insurrection against our country. He repeatedly called for the deaths of his perceived political enemies. He cheered on those who violently assaulted Americans. He should have been in jail. Instead, he got shot. And by every measure, his only accomplishment is being the first American assassination that the world watched on TikTok in 4K at 120 hertz. He wasn't a Rhodes Scholar shot in the face while seeing a movie in Colorado. He wasn't an elected official in Minnesota murdered for defending women's rights. He wasn't a first grader left bleeding to death in the company of a crazed gunman. He wasn't gunned down for flying a flag outside his clothing store. He was a bad person who said horrible things on his mid-tier little podcast. I have legitimate reasons to hate a lot of these conservative pundits. Many, like Ben Shapiro, have come after me by name. They've spent years vilifying me for trying to save lives during COVID. They fabricated stories, promoted propaganda, and incited more death and rape threats than I can count. And yet I don't say they should be given the death penalty or publicly executed. I don't believe they deserve that, except for Charlie Kirk. Oh, that's what she's getting to, that Charlie Kirk is especially evil, right? I would never say that children should watch DeSantis's public execution as a rite of passage. I would never say that Matt Gaetz, is she just like naming people she does actually want to die? And every pervert in Congress should be stoned to death. And there are so many conservative men in Congress that are into some kinky and even illegal shit. Saying good riddance isn't a celebration of his violent public death. It kind of is. I said it when Rush Limbaugh died. Does that mean I'm cheering on lung cancer? Yes. Kind of, yeah. I was elated when Scalia died of natural causes. Most of our country and the world will be in the streets actually celebrating when Trump dies, regardless of how he dies. Lady, how he dies will be very important to what's happening in the streets if and when Trump dies. That's what an absurdly stupid statement. Like if Trump were to get shot right now, there would just be mass happiness and love. There would be like a fucking Woodstock festival in every city across the entire country. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's actually what would be occurring on the streets in every major city across the country. I don't think there'd be no fucking Burning Man after that shit. There'd be men burning, but there'd be no Burning Man, if you know what I mean. Everyone dies. Yeah, dude. What's like even the difference between like stomping out like a fetus's life at like conception or getting shot in the neck for like political speech? Like we're all just like a paper bag, like a plastic bag, like floating in the wind. Life is just like an arbitrary. When it begins, it's like arbitrary. When it ends, it's like arbitrary. I'm like deep and shit. That doesn't make up for the life they spent harming others. When other people choose, and when people who choose to spend their existence hurting people are gone, the world is a better place. Kirk was a vapid demagogue, unworthy of mass hysteria over his death, and everyone should be protesting this state-mandated day of mourning on October 14th. Fascinating, chat. Yeah, this is like delusion. People are like actually really, really upset over this, and the whole like, yeah, we're just gonna keep shooting people that we disagree with. It's not a good idea. Cool. Is there something else I wanted to say before we switch off of YouTube? Let me double check real quick, chat. Can I talk about this? Yeah. No, I can't because I have something funny lined up after that. Is there anything lolcow related I can share? Okay, I know how I'll tempt over the YouTubers to come watch the rest of the stream. Okay, I got something that they'll really like. So, if you are a savvy internet person, you may be aware of the existence of someone called Shmorky. Well, the Kiwi Farms, of all people, have found Shmorky. Let's take a look. This is that Elith Claire, suspected of being Shmorky, and some art that Elith says that they made. Looks a little bit sus, chat. This iron-on patch for a shirt. A little bit sus here. What about this one? Okay, this is the Ink Bunny profile. Let's check out some of that art. Looking a little bit sus. Seems kind of stone toss-esque to me here. Shmorky, a little Shmorky influence at the very least. And then I don't know if I can show this. Let me check. This is I can't show this on YouTube chat. Thankfully, the Neil Maham has a QR code to kick. So if you want to see the damning evidence that's already been deleted, you will not find this if you simply check out the Ink Bunny profile all by yourself. If you want to see the damning conclusionary evidence against the Shmorky account, you got to switch over to Kickarooski or Rumblerooski right now, chat, okay? For the record, just so you guys know, I believe that the YouTube super chats are piped in now. But also worth mentioning that the Monero is also fixed and working. So I will read the ones I missed last stream as well at the beginning of this stream. All right. Sorry, YouTube. Neil Mahan says you can't see the Shmorky picture. It would make him very sad. It would make Neil Mahan very, very sad, okay? So you have to go into the dark place. Okay, YouTube is over, chat. Let's see it. Let's get rid of this Neil Maham first, and then see it. All right, you're right. If you switched over from YouTube, this is what you volunteered to see. It is a possum and a diaper. Now, unfortunately for Shmorky, his half-closed eyelids and bizarre way of drawing smiles is a dead giveaway in and of itself. But really full diapers is another dead fucking giveaway. This is definitely Shmorky. So if you're a Shmorky aficionado or if you're a Stone Toss fan, his new account has been found. Go ahead and check it out on the KiwiFarms. I need to figure out a way to grow my website, by the way. I need to appoint some new mods. But I've been desperate to see the site hit 20,000 logged in users a day. How do we accomplish that? Maybe my fault is I'm just like making my site too free. Maybe I should make it so that if you try to view the articles and news board without an account, you have to solve a CAPTCHA where you have to click fire hydrants. Will that get you lazy fucks to register for an account? I think that's my issue, is I don't force people to get accounts anymore. You want to see this news story? Yeah, you want to see this fucking news story about someone getting shot? There'll be 3 fire hydrants, please. Oh, you want to see another page about that? Can we get some sidewalks? Can we get some sidewalks for the cause? Okay. So, large dogs. All right. This was a continuation. I didn't want to risk talking about this one. Unfriendly YouTube. However, this is the situation. The most recent politically motivated leftist terror attack on our country occurred in Dallas. There's actually 2 of these. Not just 1. 3 were injured by sniper fire at a Dallas ICE detention facility. So a genius, conniving leftist radical terrorist decided, oh yeah, you want to call Antifa a terror organization? I guess I'm left with no choice but to assassinate members of the Stasi. I didn't know the Stasi were the communists. What are they called? It's called the Abwehr, the CIA during World War II for Germany. Oh, God, what was it? What were they called? Like the people that like rounded everybody up. Oh yeah, the SS, the Schutzstaffel. For some reason I was always thinking of them as like the paramilitary organization, but no, they rounded people up too. The SS. Okay, the SS rounding up all the Browns in the dead of night. So, the lefty took up his arms using a Mauser, if you can believe it, I think there's a picture. Oh wait, this is out of order. Okay, so this is the picture. He was literally using 5-round stripper clips with "fuck ice" written on the casings, for his Mauser, which is just a bizarre. Is there like any kind of communist, like association with the Mauser? It is out of order. Yeah, they tried to say this was not political, by the way, but obviously it is. Apparently, it's from Czechia. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why they picked. It's a Nazi gun. Oh my god, Nazi. So he shot a bunch of people, right? They found out who he was. His name, never trust a Josh, by the way. They're all lunatics. Joshua John, named as the shooter. Here we have him. He is a Mexican. He is a communist. A literal communist with communist paraphernalia as his photo on social media accounts. Now, I can't show you this post because it is gore. But if you're interested in seeing what he looks like dead, here I'll post that in the Rumble chat, and I'll post it in the Kick chat. That is indeed what he looks like dead. It's actually really shocking. He kind of like leaned back on something and then blew his brains out with a Mauser, so his head is like deformed. I think they should post more pictures of corpses. I think they like, okay, you want to shoot at our ICE detention facility? We're gonna post your corpse. Ack, he said as he shot himself in the head with a Mauser. Now here's the real tricky dicky part of the story, chat, is what happened when he shot into the ICE detention facility. Soy Jack. So he hit 0 ICE employees and shot 3 different ICE detainees, all of whom were Mexican. So all of the victims that this Mexican shot were Mexican detainees awaiting deportation. So instead of simply being deported back to South America, they were murdered by a leftist terrorist. It was such a fuck up, such an incredible fuck up, that the leftists are trying to say that this was a MAGA terror attack. And it's just so clearly not the case, and they refuse to listen to reason because they can't accept the fact that their side is that retarded. But lo and behold, they are actually that retarded. It's not a joke. Thank you, Charlie Kirk, for protecting our ICE detainee or ICE employees from the grave, chat. Deported forever, that's right. We don't have to worry about them coming back. That's 4 Mexicans gone. Poof. Adios, amigos. Is that kind of celebrating, chat? I did just condemn. I mean, in my defense, this is a much more hysterical situation because of what he was trying to achieve versus what he achieved. I do feel bad for the Pacos and Tacos. They just came over to try and they just tried to defraud the American government, which, to be quite honest with you, is based. The federal government is evil. Defrauding it is kind of based in a way. Can't lie. That's how I feel. I just hate the feds. I still do. The feds are on my side. Still hate them. But I don't know. Kind of mean to kill them. They didn't do nothing. Okay. I don't know. Maybe they were all like terrorists or something, narco terrorists. We have to be a positive poly and think maybe that was the case. Rest in power, illegal. That's right. Next, we got more shootings. This time there were 3 Muslims involved. They went to a Houston, as technically Katy, Texas, which I suppose is near Houston based on this title. And the coach of this youth baseball game decided to do a prayer, a little huddle together in prayer, and the Muslims shot and killed him as he was praying on the pitch with his students, with his youth baseball league. So this is the suspects. 2 of these were naturalized under Biden, so now they're considered Americans because a piece of paper says that they are. And there's 3 people who conspired to kill a bunch of Christians praying on a pitch because, of course they did. You probably haven't heard about this one either because the demographics are wrong. But you cannot live next to a Muslim. I want to try and explain. There really are people out there who believe in an egalitarian society where Pacos and Amerimuts and Muslims are all basically the same thing, trying to get along and survive the day. And to an extent, that's true. But they actually fucking hate you. And you can sit there and go, la, la, la. I don't see color, la, la, la. We should coexist. It is a meme. These people will never coexist with you. There's another thing, actually, that I can kind of put next to this little rant here. Here, let's just bring this up, shall we? Why is this on a different page now? Here we go. This is also in Texas, in case you're a Texan. This is a 90-foot tall bronze monkey man statue. The Jeets paid a bunch of money to put this bronze monkey man statue up. And now if you live in this town and you wake up in the morning, you are in the shadow of a bronze monkey man that the Hindu conquerors of your area have put up next to you. So we are literally in our own country, in our own homes. We are living in the shadow of Hindu gods, and Muslims are shooting at us. So they're not shooting at each other, by the way. These Mohammedans did not say, hey, that monkey man statue is literally a polytheistic sacrilege, false idol put up by a country that historically has hated us and formed an entire religion called Sikhism about hating us and killing us. Maybe we should go blow up his monkey man statue because it's fucking gay. No, the Muslims then decided to put all their brain power together to shoot one coach at a youth baseball game because they hate white people and they hate Christians most of all. And it's kind of like in the Ukraine Civil War. You had the White Army, you had the Reds, and then you had Magnovia, which was an anarchistic group that was vaguely aligned with communism. But when Magnovia sprung up, both the whites and the reds fought them back first before fighting each other. And you might think, well, why didn't the communists help the anarchists fight the whites first? And the answer is they just wanted control for themselves. And they hated the anarchists the most because they wanted that control. It's like that with the Muslims. The Muslims and the Hindus, if President Trump is shot and they're burning man in the streets of the cities, they'll kill Whitey first because that's funnier to them. Next. A nice video by the DHS that upset a lot of people. Okay.
I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide.
What? Tried to eat a mint, chat. Keep my breath fresh. And it fucking froze on me. Literally nothing ever will be as great as that theme song. If you're like a young person, number one, you shouldn't be watching this. But number two, you'll never experience anything as pure and amazing as Pokemon in the 1990s and early 2000s. You'll never know the joys that I've known. You are doomed to this this castigated realm of misery, and you'll never know joys that I have known as a child, chat. Never. Next, Anna Valens. Speaking of doom and a life without happiness, we have Anna Valens. Anna Valens is a... Why? Anna Valens is a disgusting pervert tranny. And this disgusting pervert tranny is now upset. Now, they previously were upset with VTubers because VTubers were saying naughty things that they didn't approve of. And before then, Anna Valens was most famous for making a 6-minute long audio diatribe describing about the industrial rape of cis women that he intended to bring about with the help of people like Liz Fong Jones, technocrats, basically, and technocrat money. Anna Valens was kicked out of Drop Kiwi Farms because they were so rapey and disgusting, and the others, for publicity reasons, couldn't be associated with them. And now, I want to say there was a thing that happened recently where Anna Valens took the side of the chuds. I am struggling to remember what that was. It was an anti-censorship thing, and Anna Valens said that the chuds had a really good point. Okay. What was it? What am I thinking of? That's going to drive me crazy. Chat, help me. Yeah, that's the one that wanted to spit roast turfs. The Steam thing. That's right. Oh, it was the MasterCard Visa card. That's right. They came out against the game censorship and the anti-MasterCard Visa card thing. Well, Anna Valens is now on the enemy team yet again. Because Bluesky posted a heckin' unwholesome new rule. This rule is actually really crazy. I'm surprised that Bluesky would ever come down on sex work as hard as they have on this. And I know why they have, by the way. It's a thing that MasterCard, Visa card doesn't like. And I know that because of the fucking Steam thing. So, apropos of nothing, the MasterCard, Visa card lobby told them that they had to, so they did. Bluesky has banned any kind of artwork that is pornographic in nature, including writing, which is related to child abuse or rape. Now, there is a flourishing Reddit fetish community for what they call consensual non-consensual. And that is rape play, basically. I have discussed rape play in the past. I'm trying to remember why. Oh, Mr. Stoned One, the community manager, was the guy that ran Space Station 13 for TG Station. He had made comments about how one of his exes was into rape play and how it ruined normal sex for him because now he can only get off from rape. Rape play, as in play rape, as in pretend rape, as in consensual, non-consensual. So on Reddit, they like to explore this. This is probably why a lot of people on the right think that women are into rape, because mentally ill people on Reddit are into rape. So Bluesky enforced their cardholder terms of service and banned consensual, non-consensual stories, and also written fictitious depictions and stories regarding children. And Anna Valens is upset by this because it hurts heckin' wholesome sex workers. Chat. Anna Valens says, can confirm this is a new change. Not good. Bluesky banning non-con might force me off the platform. Sorry, folks. You know how it is. Half the point of my VTubing career is creating lesbian dubcon, dubious consent. That's like, it's not clear. They're not like, there's no affirmative consent, but it's not like hardcore rape, chat. Dubcon, non-con in various iterations, from Giantess Vor all the way to the Majestic Shield stuff. No nomcon, no ASMR promo. GG. Checkmated, just effortlessly checkmated by MasterCard. Their 1,000-year plan to stop the breeding barns is in effect. I know no one wants to hear this, but de facto, a lot of people will go back to Twitter if this starts getting us banned. I'll stay on here until they ban me. They probably will, inevitably, if I post non-con ASMR clips. We will see. Bluesky is likely preparing to open up monetization options, and this, therefore, they has to prepare a landing strip that MasterCard, Visa approve of. That is correct. We came to the same conclusion. I can only prioritize social media with high scale. If North Sky has significant user base access and size via AT protocol after all this, sure. If not, I can't and won't. My VA and VTubing business is at a mission critical moment where I need to focus on maximizing avenues for high reach, tough decisions. Why not just hide the rape behind a different paywall? Like if you're doing promos for stuff, why not, like, can you not figure out the YouTube thing that I do? Just like say, oh, we're gonna be talking about the spicy content on this other platform that monetizes rape. Can't you just do that? That's what the fucking chuds have been doing for forever. But instead of rape, it's just like any kind of thought. Any of our many thoughts are banned. I applied for verification with Bluesky and they never gave it to me, by the way. Oh, poor you. Rebekah Jones, by the way, has direct access to the board of directors for Bluesky. And if I make an account and like they banned the Joshua Moon account that I created on Bluesky. As soon as I posted the link to it on Kiwi Farms, I hadn't even made a post. So they just like watched that shit, I guess, and banned me immediately. I didn't even post. I'm just banned as a person, as a concept on Bluesky. Let's see. In the end, all donations are funneled through payment processors. You can't escape this issue to begin with. I think on some level, it's turtles all the way down. You can move to another PDS. Most people de facto will stay on Bluesky and want to remain on the Bluesky PDS. It's the biggest one. That's just talking about Bluesky shit. Says that Twitter won't censor rape because Elon is too chudly. Elon has threatened to straight up start his own X payment system in direct response to payment processor censorship. And he's one of the few people in the world who could actually create and implement a new financial tech stack just because MasterCard and Visa pissed him off. He's insanely rich. I think that MasterCard et al. Identify that Boy King isn't one to be upset and they're more tolerant of Twitter as a result. Should we do that then? We need the Anna Valens team up to force Elon to make X payments. We just all have to write our own rape fiction. Who's going to get raped, chat? Maybe, you know what? One of the things that I got, let me find it real quick. Oh, there it is. Okay. This is one of the things I got in the mail, chat. Do I have a picture of this? I do. I'm going to skip ahead. Before the super chat segment, I'm going to show you guys what I got in the mail. And I'm just going to skip ahead to the spoiler alert. One of the things I got in the mail was trans wizard Harriet Porber in The Bad Boy Paracephalosaurus, an adult romance novel from two-time Hugo Award finalist Chuck Tingle. This book is in my burn pile, in case you're wondering. That's where all the stuff I don't want is going to go, into the burn pile. But I'm thinking, we just got to Chuck Tingle this, and we got to write, like, rape porn about abstract concepts, like Paracephalosauruses. Then the Paracephalosaurus stuck his giant dinosaur dingus into the Triceratops, and just like break all their rules like in roundabout ways. Should I read from this? I've been asked not to read from this book. Snape reaches into the breast pocket of his jacket and pulls out a small travel-size bubbleless Morphus. I got it online. The man informs me. Sorry, that's really funny. he bought it online. He's the potions master, but he bought it. Okay. I'm not great at performing it yet, but I'm getting there. I made one bubble. I smile. I appreciate the effort. Kind of sad sounding incantation for a hot to trot spell, though. Snape continues. I nod. Well, it was written during a sad time in my life. Snape hesitates, trying to choose his words carefully before continuing, more charming than I expected. A complete shift from the dinosaur who used to run his mouth and say whatever he liked without any regard for the consequences. I, I'm certain that this isn't a habit that's been eliminated completely, but the fact he's taking special care for me is deeply impressive. Maybe this is too cursed, chat. I don't think I should read this. There might be unforeseen consequences if I continue. Okay. I will show you guys more of my pile later. Stay tuned. All right, I'm sick of Anna Valens. Anna Valens, unless you have a plan to rape X into submission, I don't want to hear any fucking more of your bullshit. They're planning a blackout against these new rules. Maple Moth Witch at B Sky says, Bluesky blackout, September 21st to September 27th. Stand with not safe for work creators and against censorship. Show them how many came here specifically to escape arbitrary censorship. Reblog to share and to announce your blackout. Okay. Did it work? Did the rape of Bluesky succeed? Here we have another person. High-waisted jeans, I think is what that says. Sigh-waisted jeans? I don't know what that says. God, I wish someone would just dox everyone on Kiwi Farms, track them one by one to their houses or parents' basements or whatever, kidnap them, and take them all to a deserted island somewhere and just hunt them for sport with fully automatic military weapons. That would be cool. So, rape, not okay. Writing elaborate fantasies about non-consensual murder, A-okay. I guess we know where MasterCard, Visa card lies on this issue, chat. Next. Teen Gamer. Okay, so this is 7 News Australia. This is like a really big publication in the Australia media. And they wrote a scorching hit piece on Roblox, effectively saying, literally saying, that letting your child play Roblox is effectively like letting them loose in a mall. The chances of them being raped or abducted or taken advantage of in some way is so extremely high that it is tantamount to a reckless behavior to let them play the game. Now let's see how the market reacted to this chat. Roblox is up. Roblox is actually up from when this article came out. So if you want to know what the economy is like, rape doesn't matter. Child abduction doesn't matter. The market, the way that investment works is that Vanguard, BlackRock, and that other one, they just buy everything in mass, and Greenline always goes up, always. So if in case you're wondering what the U.S. economy is like, we're a rape-based economy. Okay, this is kind of weird. There's some open source drama. Okay. Cloudflare is sponsoring a open source project called Ladybird. And Ladybird is the name of a competing engine against Firefox's Gecko, which I don't know if it's still called Gecko. Every time I mention this, people get mad at me. And Chromium, which is what everything else in the entire world uses, basically. You're either using LibreWolf and or Firefox, or you're using Chrome with a different flesh suit. So I have complained about this, and I've complained about how there's a lack of diversity in the implementation of the W3 standard, and that such a lack of diversity is directly leading to Google taking over the entire internet, despite the fact that it's ran by a bunch of Pajeets, and therefore is against the interest of all mankind at like a minimum. Like, you don't want Jeets to run the entire internet. It's a bad thing, right? So Cloudflare is funding Ladybird, which is a new alternative. It will be an open source, Rust-based browser because Rust development is all the rage right now. So they're going to rewrite the internet in Rust. Cloudflare approves of this. Cloudflare is also increasingly sponsoring Rust development in its own engine. In fact, Cloudflare has released... they have something called Quiche, which is Rust HTTP3 implementation, I want to say. And then they have some other... they have open source parts of Cloudflare itself written in Rust. So Rust is taking over chat, and they're sponsoring Rust. Now, isn't there somebody you forgot to ask? This guy called Drew DeVault, who I've talked about before, is now trying to get various things to have code of conduct unsuccessfully. And meanwhile, in the Rust kernel itself, there is dating between underage people who are openly flirting with each other. So transgender 14-year-olds and 17-year-olds are flirting and exchanging socials in the comments for Rust kernel issues. I don't know why this is a thing, but it is a thing. Rust has a lot of trannies that support it, but it's a good language. The issue is that it's so heavily associated with trannies that it pisses people off just out of a sense of, I don't know, opposition. There was something else with the open source community I was going to talk about. I want to say that it has something to do with Drew as well, because I want to say, it was Ruby on Rails. I can't remember why this happened, but Ruby on Rails, or some trannies in Ruby, decided to try and oust the inventor of the Ruby on Rails language from his own development system by alleging that he's like a meanie bigot or something. And their attempts to do this completely failed, and he has not been removed. And the trannies behind this were very upset that he was not removed. So... if you don't know why Rust is good, there's no point trying to explain it to you. Just go write and see and leave people alone. I couldn't find the Ruby stuff. Was it Drew that was behind the Ruby stuff? I want to say it was Drew, but I feel like that's also wrong. And if I say that, people will get mad at me. Cloudflare gave money to Omarchy, and the creator of Omarchy is the creator of Ruby. I see. So was Drew the one that came after the guy from Omarchy and also from Ruby? It's two different things. I know about the cum chalice. Next, DHH. DHH is the guy that made Ruby. I'm not sure what he was being targeted by. Okay, so Akashi Vyas Singh says, "This, honestly, I'm just exhausted with these distractions. I'm glad we're getting to focus back on shipping good software. Every time my JetBrains IDE flags Fireman as an error, I'm reminded of how far we let the Overton window shift in the past decade." And Mr. Singh is complaining about how his IDE has code of conduct inclusivity warnings, where if you use the word fireman instead of fire person, literally fire person is what they suggest, it will flag you and be like, warning, male gendered nouns in code. Warning, don't you mean to use fire person or some other word like this? Use neutral honorifics, such as instead of Miss Elizabeth Smith, you can use Ms. or Mix. This is literally what they tried to force on us, but thankfully Akashi Vyas Singh said, "No, sir, I will not use your fucking tranny bullshit in my fucking IDE. I'm unchecking all this bullshit. If you bring it up to me again, I'm going to fucking send you back to fucking India." Thank you, Mr. Singh. DHS says, "Hey, JetBrains, you don't have to do this nonsense anymore. I understand why companies felt crowded into these humiliations, but the woke regime has fallen so you could start performing its rights." And then this was the thing I just read. Watching the on-market community. Oh, okay. I remember Drew was very upset that everyone made fun of him for having a shitty take. Can I I think I'm signed into GitHub. Let me. Oh, I'm gonna give it a thumbs down. You ready? Is it gonna show up as a thumbs down live on? Let's see. Let's see if Microsoft is worth billions of dollars. Theoretically, if I press the down vote on my other browser, it should show up on this. You ready? I pressed it. I can't. Wait, no. It's closed. I can't. It says it's closed. I can't click it. Unbelievable. Disgusting. One person thumbed this up. Who is this person? We have to root him out. Graham Arden. Hold up. Let's hunt him. Graham Arden. Let's see what this sicko is like. Hull University teaching at the NHS Trust. English! He's English and he works for the NHS. Disgusting. Just so you know what England's like. We got a fucking English NHS employee here. That is who we're up against. Defund the NHS, okay? All right. Next, we got Elliot Page. Elliot Page is in a new movie called The Tiger. Oh my God. Fashion film by Gucci. I thought this was a trailer. So I was going to watch it, but I cannot watch the 33-minute long short film yet. Okay, let's find Elliot Page in this. And I want to hear their voice.
Sorry we're so late. Thank you for waiting. Oh, wow, this looks incredible.
I don't know what the fuck this is. Where's Elliot Page? I don't see Elliot Page. Oh, there he is. How could I have skipped past that face? That's that manly face. It's just so manly that when I see it, I should have immediately known. Where the fuck is it? I just saw it. I'm never gonna see it again. Oh wait, is this it?
You good?
Oh jeez.
You good?
You good, little dude?
You look.
You look. You look a foot shorter than me. Damn, you're really small for a guy. Has anyone told you that before? That you're real fucking short, bro?
There you are. What happened to your earring?
What do you mean?
Oh no, my earring. Why is Klaus Schwab with Ghislaine Maxwell in this movie? What is Elliot Page doing to them? Did they not give him any lines? Did they not give her, Zare, any lines? Is it just that hallway scene where she gets mogged by a black woman? Why is he always... Oh, it's a different guy. Right?
Braxton, what are you doing? Control yourself. This isn't funny.
You're kind of freaking me out.
Oh my God. Holy shit. Is Ellen Page just shorter than every other woman on set? Every scene that I've seen of Ellen Page in this, she's getting thrown up against a wall and mogged by height by a woman.
Braxton, what are you doing? Control yourself. This isn't funny.
You're kind of freaking me out.
Jesus.
Where? What?
5'1". Oh my God.
What's happening?
We got a 4'13" shoddy over here. Ralph Amale height. That's how we prove this. We need Ethan Ralph to heroically venture back to the United States and try to measure up with Ellen Page. And then we'll know for sure how tall Ethan Ralph is, depending on how he measures up to Ellen Page. Maybe Ellen Page will fall madly in love with Ethan Ralph, and he'll be like, "Oh my God, you're the only man I've ever seen that's shorter than me. Can we be gay?" And they'll hit it off. They'll hit it off. And the 4'13" Chads will walk off into the sunset. And additionally, they can't have kids. I think. Oh God, can they have kids? Could Ellen Page be a seahorse dad? Is that what's going to happen? Maybe, Chad. Maybe I've just spoken some utter darkness into the world. Demon Baby 3, Ellen Page edition. Next, we have cowardice. Pathetic cowardice on display, chat.
Ever cancel her out or cancel that out for anything. It has to remain true. It is true. And this is where this like holding of these, I just don't know what else to do other than hold these two seemingly incompatible things together at the same time and just hope maybe they will one day resolve or like co-join themselves and maybe accept that they never will, but that they can both still be true.
Let's get back to this in a second. There's something I need to urgently show you. As I spoke evil into the world, what was Ethan Ralph? Is it the kill stream? What's Ralph's fucking Twitter account? I thought it was Ethan. Is it not Ethan Ralph? Oh, the Ralph retort. Okay. So as soon as I said this, Ralph immediately posted a picture of himself saying he's USA bound. So Swooty, he's heard that there is some celebrity bussy that's available to him. So he's coming. He's coming to the USA. He's going to get that Ellen Page ass, okay? The only man shorter than him, he will be so impressed that they'll hit it off immediately, okay? It's coming. All right, anyways, back to what's her face.
And I can love her. I can know she loved me. I can be grateful to her. I can know the things that she said are true. And that can be this whole other thing. And my job feels like to just hold all of it. But the bigger thing is just what she's done will never be taken away from me.
So, as the culture war shifts, Emma Watson laments that she took the side of cowardice and forsake the whammon that made her a celebrity, that turned a little girl into one of the most famous people alive through the Harry Potter movies. She laments the fact that she turned her back on her and said that she was a horrific, vile transphobe. Because Emma Watson, as a woman, sees trannies and knows that they're disgusting innately, because they are, and sees the way that the wind blows and says, oh, you know what, maybe that was a mistake. But does J.K. Rowling forgive Zare? She says this, not directly, but indirectly, saying, a little reminder for anyone who may be regretting their very public sprint to the front of the mob and is now trying to discreetly shove their pitchfork out of sight. And this was her original message from May 3rd. In light of recent open letters from academia and arts criticizing the UK Supreme Court ruling on sex-based rights, it's possibly worth remembering that nobody sane believes or has ever believed that humans can change sex or that binary sex is not a material fact. These letters do nothing but remind us of what we know only too well, that pretending to believe these things has become an elitist badge of virtue. I often wonder whether the signatories of such letters have to quiet their conscience before publicly boosting a movement intent on removing women's and girls' rights, which bullies gay people who openly admit they didn't want opposite-sex partners, and campaigns for the continued sterilization of vulnerable people and troubled kids. Do they feel any qualms at all while chanting the foundational lie of their religion that trans women are women and trans men are men? I have no idea. All I know for sure is that it is a complete waste of time telling a gender activist that their favorite slogan is a self-contradictory nonsense, because that lie is the whole point. They're not repeating it because it's true, they know full well it is not true, but because they believe they can make it true, sort of, if they force everyone else to agree. The foundational lie functions as both catechism, I can't pronounce that word, it's also the word used for like the liturgical history of the Catholic Church, catechism and crucifix, the set form of words that obviates the tedious necessity of coming up with your own explanation of why you're one of the godly, and an exorcist weapon which will defeat demonic facts and reason and promote the righteous pseudoscience and sophistry. Well, there I go, trying to read a writer's words. And what a mistake that is. I should stick to retards, chat. I don't feel like I can... I'm not quite up at J.K. Rowling level. I'm not quite children's Harry Potter book author writer. Catechism? Catechism. Okay. The catechism of tranniedom. So she said, fuck you, bitch, basically. Now, how did the left, the fans of Emma Watson, take this? Let's see. Her opinion is killing people. God, I hate the British. Well, Robin/Leo, that's something that we can agree on. Calling the call to have trans people eradicated from society and opinion is incredibly out of touch and emblematic of who should be protected in the Hollywood purge. Mickey says trans people aren't a fucking opinion, and remaining neutral in the face of oppression isn't compassion. It's siding with the oppressor. Fuck both of them, actually. So now even the few people that Emma Watson had successfully courted now see her as a fascist enabler. Right for the purge, chat. Meanwhile, by the way, Tom Felton, actor of Draco Malfoy, has no such quarries to reckon with, because he never turned his back on the woman that made him famous and rich, chat. Tom Felton, that's right. Felted. Just goes to show you that Slytherin purebloods always win, chat. There's no dilly-dallying over there. The mudbloods are recognized and rooted out, okay? Caroline, he's like 40, and he's British. He never stood a chance, okay? Oh, I meant to look into this, and I never did. Was this from last stream? Did I forget this? Okay, no. So immediately after my last stream, a woman who's a part of the Sammyverse had her kids taken by the state of Arkansas, and the women in the Sammyverse thread were very, very happy about this. I think I asked for spoon feeding with this. No, cue up the confetti. I said no idea who any of these people are, so I can't comment. Did anyone sum this up for me? If not, I might just have to leave it there. There's no way I can. Oh, Voldemort also sided with her. Who, I saw him in a movie recently. Oh, it was that 28 Years Later movie. There's like it was driving me fucking crazy. Where it's just like, I know that guy's voice and his face. Who the fuck is that? And then it was the guy that is Voldemort's player or actor. It was in 28 Years Later. Which character? He's the doctor. It's the bad guy from Die Hard. I haven't seen that. Anyways. Sorry, yeah, it was a really, really, really terrible movie. But he is in that. Okay, I don't think anyone helped me and explained who the fuck this is. But they were very happy about it. This is one of those threads that has like 1,000 pages, and I'm just like, what the fuck? How'd this happen? Can I ask ChatGPT? That's what this stream's going to become. I need to add like Grok to the Kiwi Farms so I can just ask what the fuck is happening. Why did... Let's see, what's her name? Why did the Arkansas DHS take Kimberly Lloyd's kids in the Sammyverse? Okay. Let's see if Grok can understand this. It's looking, chat. It's trying to write my stream for me. Based on public information, the Division of Children and Family Services took the kids for medical neglect. A child had a high fever, and Lloyd intended to take them to the hospital. The fever broke before she could. She monitored the child at home. They received an anonymous tip alleging the child was in imminent danger. They conducted a raid at 2 a.m. and were removed immediately. Kimberly claimed that it was a no-knock raid, so like a no announcement that just broke in, like fuck police, put your fucking hands up. Failure to protect, unable to house or supervise concerns. Okay. This contains her address. And it contains no information because it involves children. Okay, cool. Did you make a post about this? Oh, this is like old news too. They had posted about this in August. I wish somebody, you know what's weird? They named one of their kids, and this is reason enough just to take the kids. They named one of the kids, I'm pretty sure, legally Zubu Mafu, which I'm like 90% certain is the name of a TV show about animals. It is. Zobu Mafu is a live action television that aired on PBS. So they named the kids after that TV show with the lemur. And I believe that is why I think that solved the mystery. That's why they took the kids, because they named that shit Zabu Mafu. Okay, that was my shit. My favorite TV show. I had never heard of this until this happened, because I remember looking up the name like, what the fuck? But apparently it's like a super old TV show. I guess everyone saw this on PBS except for me. Anyways. So, here we have a terrible, terrible, evil person, chat. This person, here's we're gonna stack these evils high, okay? German, evil number 1. Tranny, evil number 2. Furry, evil number 3. And to top this off, to make it the most evil person to ever live, a VTuber. Now, this person named Cheesy Hot Dog made a thread about this evil, evil German tranny VTuber named Nyara VT, which alleged that Nyara on their Discord, had been openly advocating for decriminalizing child pornography and for having consensual sex with kids, which sounds pretty believable. All things considered, and the VTuber sticker sitting there. It wouldn't be the first time, I'll say that much. This thread never gained much traction, but then Sprite Header, the eagle-eyed skeptic, started looking at these logs and saying, isn't it kind of weird that we have this VTuber who has several thousand followers? So it's not like a literally who VTuber, it's a very small streamer, but not unheard of. And there is no discussion about this cancellation, no discussion about him openly advocating for decriminalizing child pornography. Isn't that strange? And all we have to prove this are screenshots on the one platform that cannot be archived by an independent archiving tool. Do you have any other evidence of this German furry VTuber advocating to decriminalize child pornography? Cheesy Hot Dog said that he would defend his OP in the court of public opinion and prove that all the allegations were true. He never did, chat. And unfortunately, this information was then taken and ran with by the Lolicon crowd, because the Lolicon crowd, apparently, the VTuber Troon, was anti-Lolicon. So all the very familiar faces of pro-Lolicon Twitter, such as Trigger Point and Elfin Psyop, the same people who went after me, by the way, after I talked about the new fish, Saba. Saba's debut in the fish tummy. After I denounced that as being creepy, weird, pedophile shit, these exact same accounts came after me. So they tried to say this German tranny VTuber was a pedophile based off the Kiwi Farms thread. The Kiwi Farms thread, by the way, that they shit all over when came down to me. But unfortunately, it was all fake. And they got fooled and took fake information that had no source besides a random post from the Kiwi Farms that this person called Cheesy Hot Dog had posted without any other evidence. And why? Why did this random German VTuber get defamed as a pedophile? Because apparently, according to him, he pissed off groypers in Final Fantasy XIV. And so their revenge plot against him, because I don't even know how the fuck he accomplished pissing off groypers in Final Fantasy XIV, but apparently their 1,000-year plan was to both discredit the Kiwi Farms and also attack this tranny VTuber as a pedophile by using the forum and using Inspect Element Discord messages to portray them as a pedophile. And what's weird is that I felt really bad about this. Like, that's terrible. I'm sad that more due diligence wasn't used before this thread was moved out of the proving ground. They don't even blame us. Listen to this. And by the way, yes, this is a straight up German tranny furry VTuber. Okay, like, I'm not joking.
Again, Kiwi Farms. I don't even blame Kiwi Farms because they closed the thread. They called it out for the fake shit. They closed it. So I'm actually not mad at the farms. I'm mad at the people who are weaponizing a closed thread with fake shit in order to like push the agenda of that. Right? You have to realize that actually, you know, even though it was posted in the farms, people called it out. Because there's some level of integrity over there. Right?
I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what accent is that. If you're like a German expert, specifically, what is that, like Berliner? Is that what a Berliner? If I had to guess, I would say Berliner. But it's just like it's such like a the farms they did the due diligence and they decided that this was all false and such. But the groypers, they must be gassed. We're going to load all the groypers up on a train, on a Zug, and send them to Auschwitz. Yeah. Sorry, I got something stuck in my throat. Ugh. Trying to speak in German apparently lodges like a wooden splinter into my neck. It's not Bavarian, is it? No, that's definitely Berlin. Can I look this up? If I go to this guy's profile, is it this? Nyara VT. Where are we at? Where are we at, bro? Trans femme VTuber from Germany.
Why is a cis kid allowed to go through puberty that align with their gender identity to make memories be socialized in a way that aligns with their gender identity? But when I'm suggesting that a trans kid should be
the Institute for Sexual Wissenschaft, I have them blocked on Twitter. I have so many people blocked. Okay, I'll unblock this person because I can't see the description unless I unblock them. Won't shut up about trans rights. Everybody hates this bitch. Well, I see why you got blocked. YouTube partner, Twitch partner. Winner of Ravenger's Biggest Bottom Award 25. Only whimpers a little when injecting myself. Certified brat. Clicker training chat since 2024. Licensed Dommy Mommy. Okay, let me just try from Nyaran BT Berlin. No results. Let's try Bavaria. No results. München? What's the English way to say München? I forgot how to say that. Munich. No. No. There's one message from Nyaran that includes Munich in it and just says enjoy Munich. I bet you he's from Munich. Kaiser Slautern. That's what the thread says. A town in Germany in the Palatinate. There's a Japanese garden there. That's it's in Rhineland-Palatinate. It's very close to the French border, apparently. I wouldn't have guessed that. Okay. I see. What is that?
Cat now?
Oh God! Oh God! I had his Twitch open and I just started playing a video of him meowing like a cat. It was terrifying. Okay. Why does it matter he's German? Because they're very different. Okay, look. Germany is a federal republic with 16 different federal lands. Okay, and some of them are very different. And the southern Germans make fun of the northern Germans, and they both make fun of the Berliners. This is very important, and you have to make fun of them correctly, otherwise they won't be as upset as they could have been. You can't understand Bavarian. Well, that's because it's Arabic. All right. Next. What we got here? What's this? Okay, so Chantal. Here's the news with Chantal. Here's the haps with her. So last stream I talked about how Chantal was kind of wishy-washy and doing this whole thing, didn't seem too upset, was trying to ask for $10,000 to move back to Canada, was teasing that there was like a divorce arc going. Couldn't say that much. That's where we left off last time with Chantal. How have things progressed since, chat? Well, first of all, she still plans to go back to Canada. She is still begging for money. During this time, they were kind of on bad terms, Chantal and Salah. So Salah invited Chantal to go on a trip with him, with his family, because that is the courteous thing to do, right? Especially when you're married. Chantal says, no, I don't want to go with you on this trip because I am fat and sassy and don't feel like moving around all that much. So he left her behind with food. But, and this is incomprehensible to me, but this is crucial in the lore. The way that I think that this is, because I've lived behind this in Ukraine. Basically in Ukraine, all the buildings, all the blocks, they have little courtyards, and they're sort of like these street level, like every block in Ukraine, at least in Odessa, is like street level shops, and then housing above those. And the housing all faces inwards into a mutual courtyard that has one entrance that is gated. And if somebody wants to walk into your courtyard, they walk up and they press the button to your phone, and your phone rings. And if you press another button, the gate opens. And that's how that works. You can also pick up your phone, and your voice will be telecommed into the gate. So you can pick it up and be like, hello. And they'll say like, posta. And they'll be like, yeah, I do. And that's how I say, I'm coming. That's how I got by for a very long time in Odessa. Those are the very few words. And then... but you have to press the button to open it. Now, if you are not intellectually inquisitive at all, you may not know how to open this gate because it is like a system, right? Or you need some kind of code to open it. Either way, she never learned how to open this fucking gate. So she's in this house with food. Salah is gone, and there is a big scary gate that she doesn't understand how to open. I imagine it works kind of like that way, where you have to press a button. She just doesn't understand the system at all. She also doesn't understand Arabic. So... after 2 days, a mere 2 days of Salah being out of the house, she begins to freak out because he calls in and says that he's going to spend another day with his family. She is now concerned that she is going to run out of food and die from starvation because Salah is not there to feed her continuously during these trying times. So she literally starts pulling out her phone and having a mental breakdown on live stream. Going over how she's scared, she doesn't know what to do. Salah apparently has her bank card, so she can't flee the country. And they have a big fight. This is important, okay? This is important. This is the message that she showed to show him threatening her. Because she's before this, she said to him or called him a son of a bitch. Now, in English, when you say son of a bitch, it's like a logical non sequitur insult. It's like in Chinese, the way that you say fuck you in Chinese, you go tama, and that just means your mother. But the mere implication that you're going to say something negative about somebody's mother is enough to really, really scare and piss people off. Okay. So, when you say son of a bitch in English, it means absolutely nothing. But when you say that to somebody who's Arabic, they get really pissed off. In particular, his mother is dead. So when she said son of a bitch, he took that as a direct insult against his mother, even though in English it doesn't really work that way. So he threatens her. This is the conversation that she showed to indicate that he threatened her. He says, if you ever go live in my house or you talk about me on my family, I will show you what you deserve. Last warning. She says, I'm not afraid of you, dipshit. And then he says, don't let me do things you never expected. So her immediate response to this is to go live from the house and start freaking out about how he's going to kill her. During the stream, she's still shit talking him. But she explains the son of a bitch thing happening. Okay. He has the bank card. Says that he lives off her financial support, so she can't be that useless. No, sorry, I read that out of order. He told her that his family, who expects him to have many kids because they're a Muslim family and they conquest by overpopulating the entire world, she can't have kids because she's had a total hysterectomy because she had uterine cancer, I think, because she is fat and being overweight causes uterine cancer. So his family thinks of her as a useless woman. She says that she can't be so useless because they still take her money. She's afraid of the family because she's talking back to a man, and that's like a death penalty in Islam. Salah said in the chat, so Salah's like active in her chat while she's live, so he's trying to enjoy a nice his family's trying to enjoy like a nice family vacation, and meanwhile Salah is like active on his phone the entire time because his fat Canadian wife is having a melty at home. And apparently in private, so according to Salah in the chat, said that Chantal threatened to destroy their entire house, like just trash it before he got back. He's also asking that people stop making fun of his family, but they refuse because I guess he's afraid of upsetting his family, and nobody gives a shit. The chat is actually trying to advise her to not be live and not continue to threaten and make fun of Salah because she's in Syria, and if they kill her, there will be no recourse against him because it's Syria. She says, fuck you, bitch, I do what I want, and just starts continuing to stream. I think during one of these streams lasts like 6 fucking hours. She did end up deleting the stream. But in one of them, there's the part where somebody comes over and tries to open the gate, and she doesn't know the gate code. So she can't manipulate the gate and open it because it has like a code. You can't just press a button or whatever. And then Salah brings her food and she calms down. That is the gist of it. I have some videos here that we can watch. You ready?
Hi.
Just a heads up, a warning. These are mostly audio only because she can't stream video because the internet is so bad.
If anything happens to me, it was them. It was him, it was them. Okay. We were fighting, calling each other bad names, but then he threatened me. He's threatening me. I can't call the police. They're probably on his fucking side.
Okay, so I should explain. This was of interest to me because I'm a problem solver. And I see this problem. I think, that's a weird problem to be in. Who do you contact in such a situation? Canada does not maintain diplomatic relations with Syria. There is no embassy inside of Syria that you can contact. There is supposedly an international helpline that you can reach in Ottawa that could potentially help. But in general, there is no consular service available to you in Syria. Romania is the protecting power of Canadians in Syria. And I should explain that in countries where there are no direct diplomatic relations, certain other countries will agree to offer limited consular services for friendly countries that don't have representation in that country. So in this instance, Canada has no relationship with Syria. Romania does. Romania offers consular services to Canadians who are stuck in Syria. A similar example, by the way, would be Sweden is the protecting power for Americans in the DPRK, where there's only like embassies for Sweden and Switzerland from Europe for the entire continent. Just as a fun international geopolitic thing.
I'm gonna try to get out of here, but I can't leave right now. I don't have my bank card. I gave it to him to see if there was anywhere where he could get money for me. So if anything happens, it was them. He's a raging lunatic. There's no embassy here. I'm totally fucked. And now if he comes back, I'm gonna be afraid. And
Luckily, he diffused the situation by returning with KFG, which is their fried chicken place nearby. And that's not a joke. There's a KFG. It's called KFG, and it sells fried chicken. And she went there like every single day to eat fried chicken.
I had to talk back to him. I can't let him treat me like shit. He just called me a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. I will show you when I come. See, more threats, so you know. You know. If something happens, it's him. You just insulted me and my dead mom. No, I didn't, you fucking liar. You're a liar. Do you want me to show all of the messages? All I did was insult you. And I said I would break your whole house because you threatened to friggin' hurt me physically. Son of a bitch is not insulting your mom.
There you see what happens when you marry somebody from outside of your culture who has absolutely no concept of what your people are like and actually just hates you in your fucking country.
I'm losing my family over someone like you insulting my innocent family. Excuse me? You're a narcissist. Oh my god. You said your family hated you because you're with me and I can't have kids. Do you think I give a shit what they think? After they insult me and you let them insult your wife? They have a problem with me, but they have no problem when we send them my money, right? Right? Do you really want me to go there?
Oh my god, this one post. Hold up. Please. Oh, it's another white hijabi. Please don't get him more upset. Allah would want you guys to come together with some kind of resolution. Actually, Allah would want this fat bitch fucking dead and beheaded. Dumb retard cunt. Okay, so Allah says, you're such a joke to make all this drama up, and the fools will only believe you because they didn't know me. All the conversation about and who started and how bad you threatened to destroy my house and talk shit.
Oh, I'm such a joke, hey? Do you want me to show all the messages and who's worse? I called you names, you called me names. You took it a level up and threatened me physically, so I said, oh, I'll break your house. And then you threatened me even more. Continue to threaten my life. So, don't even go there. You said you would. You said you would hurt me. Listen, I won't talk about you. You don't talk about me. You leave me alone. Come back. Give me my stuff. And I'll be out of here. Since Syria, our relationship has been so toxic. Just lately. I'm really sad it had to end this way, but I feel so awful.
X Mashley or XM Ashley X saw this opportunity this time and thought, I should be a mod. Mod me, Chantal. Mod me. I know you don't have anything else to do right now than mod me.
I feel so awful here and the things, how you make me feel. And you didn't even ask me if I wanted to go. You just make decisions without asking me. I friggin' hate it. Like I don't even matter. I don't even matter.
It's kind of shitty to be salty that your husband is going out with his family, you know, to be honest with you.
I never threatened you ever. I called you names because you hurt me a lot. And I'm not in my right mind, and you left me here. And now, typical narcissistic behavior, you blame the whole thing on me like you always do. If he stubs his toe, he blames me for the furniture being in the way. I'm not even kidding. Why is this here?
I used to talk about Amy Ramadan too. She's another like fat white hijabi that's married to a Muslim. I think she's married in the US though. No, she used to be a part of my consortium of female locals to talk about. Amy Ramadan supposedly has been active again for the first time in a long time. She's another baby now. She's another brown Muslim baby that she popped into this fucking country.
And then you want to sit there and say I'm liar and it's all my fault. Just stop it. We both hurt each other and you don't take any responsibility. Anyway.
Okay, and then this is the part about the doorbell. Okay, this is just the picture you're seeing is like the intro clip. I think this is the doorbell.
He'll be home in about 2 hours. A long drive, and he's gonna bring food. Well, we're getting along now, yeah, but no, I'm not excusing the threatening, but I was like insulting him so bad, and which is a huge no-no in this culture, and I'm not excusing it, but I'm just explaining, you know? So it's just, we're moving on. We're gonna be civil until I leave. I'm gonna zip it, yeah. I'm gonna try to be calm. I don't know, like, I think knowing that he's coming back and like, I felt super paranoid. I felt really just weird. Because we've never, like the entire 3 years we were together, we never fought like that, ever. I know after what I said yesterday, like it's my fault maybe if people think of him that way and like are afraid for me, I get it. But I think I'll be okay. Like I will be okay. As long as I just keep my cool and just, you know, he's not a saint, but he's not a bad guy. Like he's not. He's never hurt me. You know, he's never done anything to hurt me. And his family too, I've always been nice. I'm just really, you know, insecure about not fitting in the culture, like, you know, and what some of them have said and stuff like that. But I'm just going to be on my best behavior, inshallah, till I can leave here. Inshallah. It's going to... No, he's never done that unknown. I know that's not normal. I'm not excusing it, you know, but I was really nasty to him.
Someone asked, in case you are not familiar, back in the day, Chantal was not a Muslim. And she was very fat. And she would do lots of weird shit like that, the intro picture. Back in the day, back when she was funnier. Okay, this is the doorbell.
Funny that way. He didn't come right out and say, I'm going to kill you. He just said, you know, better watch your mouth or else, you know, kind of thing. But women here don't talk like that ever. So it was probably shocking to him.
The doorbell is like a Muslim prayer and not like a ring. Oh, there it is. Okay, the Muslim prayer is just the thing that's just ambiance in Syria, apparently.
Maybe Salah's back? Maybe it's that sounds like Sasa. I'm not answering the door. I don't speak Arabic.
Ding dong.
I think everyone is here. It's not him. He's going to be home in an hour and a half. So maybe a neighbor.
His aunt came over early to try and talk to her, but she refused to answer the door.
I don't know how to say who is it.
This apparently goes on for 30 minutes, and she refuses to answer the door and just lets that woman stand out there in the fucking hot sun, ringing the doorbell.
You don't give up or what? Salah's not home. Okay, so even Salah told me to ignore. If Salah says ignore, I'm ignoring.
Okay, apparently this woman is pissed off and on her own crusade. Okay. Apparently that goes on for another 20 minutes, shot. A serious SWAT. So since then, he brought the KFG. She's satisfied. She still intends to go back to Canada. She says she's now like unable to walk. So she's getting a motorized scooter. And she's already found a place in Canada to rent. That offer. Now, here's how smart Chantal is. There's actually an update to this, I think, already. There is. Okay, so right before my stream went live, she explained that she had found a place willing to rent to her, but they asked for the deposit up front before they actually formally approved her or gave her a contract to sign. And like a retard, she just sent some fucking Jeet deposit money. Because, you know, housing crisis. There's a housing crisis in Canada. So there are these scam ads that have fake listings that will ask for the deposit money up front so they can just take your fucking money. And she found one of these and uncritically just gave the deposit over. And supposedly that's now a scam. So she's discovering how vibrant and diverse her country is. And that there are now just roving gangs of Jeets stealing her fucking money because there's a zero trust society where Indians live. Okay. And there you go. Yes, the smart is sarcastic. I'm explaining how she fell for a fucking Jeet scam. Come on, bro. All right. In Super Smash Bros, there is a video by Technicals. One of the good ones, chat. One of the good ones. And he explains that the Jewish guy, Cody Schwab, who's like the top Super Smash Bros. Melee player, has a girlfriend who's out there looking to and flirting with other women, supposedly. Let's take a listen. It's a very small part of this entire video that I listened to, hoping for more funny stuff, but there was nothing. This was the funniest part.
What a human being is. By the way, Cody, your girl's on male to female Reddits looking for a wife.
And of course, his girlfriend is also a tranny. Apparently, he's very active. Let me use this before I bring it up. So this is what his girlfriend, quote unquote, is up to. You ready? In R Traps, do you want another one in this outfit? R Traps, want to come down my trap rabbit hole? R Traps, would you put me under your tree? R Traps, would you bring me home to your parents? He is active in R Traps, R Femboys, R Super Smash Bros. Melee, R Sissies, dude, I have to show this picture. That's really funny. That's not a joke. Traps, Femboys, Super Smash Bros. Melee, Sissies, Cross-Dressing, and T-Girls. And then this is another one. Our Traps Gone Wild, our Trans Porn, our MTF, our Shemale's Paradise, our MTF Selfies, our Live Stream Fail, our Trans, our Femdom, our Shemales, our Trans Positive, our Traps Aren't Gay, our No Game, No Life, which is dedicated to a series called No Game, No Life, our Crossplay, which is, according to the description, an opposite gender cosplaying appreciation board. Our Real Ahigao, dedicated to in real life hentai orgasm faces. Our Overwatch. I will show you this because this is also very funny. Our Gone Wild CD, which is for cross-dressers, I guess. Our Androgyny. This fucking guy wishes. And then our Trans Women. And the rest is like docs. Cool. Awesome. Okay. That is your update on the Super Smash Bros. Melee community. Let me take off my glasses here and rub my eyes, because I have to figure out what I want to say to this, and I have been not entirely sure. So, can I get a waving hand emoji in chat if you watched Medicare's last stream? And then actually give me a waving hand emoji and then a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you liked it. Okay, let's do this. Okay, I'm seeing some waving hand. I see like one. I'm seeing some thumbs downs. Okay, I need to know how to respond to my own audience. I quit watching him, says Bossman. I see lots of grimaces. Lots of grimaces. Okay, Anime Game 816 liked it. Never seen him? Really? It was depressing. 5 out of 10. Crybaby Gem. Okay. I want to be sensitive about this because here's the gist. Okay. Medicare, who is held in extremely high regard by a significant amount of crossover audience, has always been a sort of above it all nihilistic millennial, such as myself. I fall into this category. And he has always avoided taking things too seriously. And that started to end around COVID. He took COVID very seriously because of his health conditions, which included a compromised immune system. And since then, I suppose it would not be incorrect to say that he's just waiting to die based off what he said publicly. He made a final goodbye stream some years ago, which I never watched because it featured Pippa Pipkins, and I just couldn't fucking bring myself to listen to Jim talk to Pippa Pipkins. But that was supposed to be the final stream. I want to say that was in 2022 at the end of the year. It could even be 2021. It was a while ago. And despite being the final stream, he's made several more because he's still alive. And supposedly the money that he makes from these streams is to go to his wife, Jade, who probably will survive him, right? So that's the whole point. End of 2022. Okay. So it's been a meme for a while now with A-Logs that his final stream was 3 years ago and he's still making streams. And not too frequently. Supposedly his health is really, really bad. He's in palliative care. And that might explain some of the content in the last stream where he says unironically and without exaggeration, that Charlie Kirk's death helped him find Christ, which is a very unexpected statement coming from a above it all nihilistic millennial, to say the least. And it came out of nowhere because Jim hasn't really talked about religion ever. I want to say there was one thing that he said at some point about how religion makes a lot more sense to him now because the traditions attached to religion kept away undesirable things like trannies, because what became I agree with him on this perspective. What became facets of religious cultures were memes, like in a genetic mimetic sense, that there were certain ideas that were inductive to growth and health in a society that we passed along as religious ideas, that preserved a surviving mimetic concept that kept out undesirable traits such as transsexuals. And hopefully that makes sense. It's kind of a mouthful to explain that idea. And but outside of that, there wasn't ever really any kind of come to Jesus moment with Medicare. He sounded kind of choked up, and supposedly in palliative care, there's a religious aspect to it, and to deal with chronic pain and potentially impending death, they try to have a religious, or not necessarily religious because they don't do that. It's not like a Jesus thing. It's more of a we're all stardust type thing, because these are usually quite secular. So a lot of people were torn on this. A lot of people were very happy. A lot of people were not. I had no strong reaction to it, which sounds weird. It's kind of like a dour stream, and it was like a huge change in character, but I don't know. I didn't have a particularly strong reaction, but I feel like if I didn't mention it, I would be remiss. A lot of people, I'll say this, a lot of people thought it was like super embarrassing. I didn't see it like that. And it's just in part because it's sort of like, it's when you're dying, why do you give a fuck about what people think about what you say? You know what I mean? It's like the old people mentality. Like, I don't give a fuck about what you think. I'm dying. I'm 80. I don't give a shit. So I kind of understand just like doing whatever you want, saying whatever you want, and not giving a fuck. I think the thing that caught more people off guard, even more so than the religious element to it, was he says that in the future we are entering a post-scarcity Star Trek style golden age utopia of the United States, and that he is remiss that he will not be able to see it, but is so thankful that he got to see the beginning of it. And he kind of like implied that Trump being president was the beginning of this. So that was a take that a lot of people took even more issue with than anything he said about religion or whatever before then. So I'm not. I don't think we're quite at the Star Trek post haste phase of society. We have to get rid of the Muslims first. Once we we got a couple million obstacles in the way of Captain Picard split finger greetings, okay? But we'll get there. I trust the plan. We're getting rid of them. So yeah, I don't know. I feel kind of bad. I don't really have anything to say. Anything I say would be either too mean or... Not that I have anything mean to say, but if I tried to develop my thoughts on some kind of extremely pointed statement, it would just be unnecessarily vindictive sounding or dismissive or whatever. But there you go. I understand it. I was tempted not to listen to it because there are streams that I miss, like the Pippa stream. I just said, nah, that's not for me. What actually got me to listen to it, I remember this now. Someone said that Jim converted to Christianity, found Christ, and denounced VTubers. I'm like, ho. Well. Let's check in on this stream after all. And then I listened through, and he fucking lied. I should honestly ban that guy, because I listened to the entire fucking stream waiting for him to say that he denounces VTubers, and it was a fucking lie. Made at my expense. Baited. Literally baited. Fuck that guy. I need to hunt him down like a dog now. All right. King Cobra's celebration of life happened, I believe, on Sunday. And speaking of somber things, apparently it was quite good. It was a recorded PowerPoint presentation going over Cobes' life. A lot of people found it very sentimental. I think the main takeaway that people had from it was that Clint, his father, was not a bad father. That's always been kind of a contentious opinion in like the Cobes community, especially outside of the Kiwi Farms, I think, is that a lot of people like to say that Clint was at fault. Clint is a loser. And he's not very sympathetic because he's like a libtard, right? So I think after the celebration of life stream, a lot of people came away with a much higher level of appreciation for Clint, despite his political differences from them. But other than that, I don't want to go into it because it's kind of dour and depressing. It is archived. It's up. I don't know if you want to go see it. By the way, I didn't even mention that there was this really nice. I think this was meant for me to put on the screen as like a Cobes ham. It is very cute. I did not put up a Cobes ham, but I figured I would show it off. Anyways, here you go. Very cute drawing. Yeah, look, I'm not saying that the guy is perfect, but I don't think he's a villain per se. By the way, you know what's really cool? Have I done this before? I think I can go to the background. Oh yeah, I can do this. Oh yeah, look at this. Ha! Fuck that pile up. How do I do this? It's with my mind, chat. I have extraordinary psychic talents, chat. And you didn't even know. You didn't even know that I could do that. I just kept such secrets. It was just bothering me. I was covering up the text. I gotta fuck this shit up. Awesome. Okay. There's only a little bit left, I think. Uh-oh. Okay, this is a new thread. Let's read it together, chap. This is about Nocturne, aka Oblivion Noir, aka Donahue B85, aka Ben Donahue 17, aka the Dark Lord 176. This guy is a tranny lolicon, and I think what is remarkable about him to the audience of this thread is that you can see his real life decline from like normal looking retard kid to kind of gimpy failed male to like tranny. And it covers that. Okay. Apparently he's from the JK Rowling thread. Let's play this video. Can I? Uh-oh. This video is risky. Let me read this and then I'll try to play it if I can. Okay. Nocturne. At Nocturne System, so I guess he's a DID. Violinist, ex-guitarist, music lover, Hollow Live addict. Chat. All you Hollow Live fans out there. These are, when you're there and you're super chatting your Oshi, your favorite Hollow Live Oshi, just know this guy's in the audience super chatting his Hollow Live Oshi with you, okay? Psychology enthusiasts, knives and plushies, autistic, ADHD, narcissistic personality disorder, Asperger personality disorder, DID system, frequent freaky kink talk, trans femme girl, she, her, English and Japanese at an N2 level. Lists of known Rosalind kinks, extreme sadism, torture, domination, guro, heart, necrophilia, but only if it's in good condition, ciscon, especially as big cis, twins, blood, feet, armpits, piss, including incontinence or someone getting pissed on, lowly, CNC non-con as dom. So he wants to rape, sweat and smell, fanatical obsession, parentheses, yanderis, and fancy gloves. Well, that's a nice little list. Rape, piss, children, and gloves, chat. And self-cessed. He says he's kissed mirrors and jacked off to himself with no shame. That's just called autogenophilia, you fucking tranny. Step 1, wake up. Step 2, yearn for the gentle embrace of a cute little sister who's smaller than me and looks me in the eyes and wonder like a child does to its mother until she throws her arms around me in a big hug and I can stroke her hair and give her so much precious love and little kisses, and I'm going insane. I need it. Siblings Day. I want to marry my little sister. I want to have little sister sex. I want to love and cherish my little sis like a mother. I want to. And then he says, to me, incest is way more than just sister fucking hot. It's a desire for a very particular type of social closeness my soul constantly aches for, even if she's very annoying. Hanging out, talking with your sibling on summer vacation, watching the days go by, innocence of youth with a feminine presence. So here he is. If you're a Cannibal Corpse fan, this guy's in your mosh pit. Shadow of... I don't know what that is. He's outside. He found some trees. Look at my trees, he says. You can see his hair growing out. Uh-oh. Make them suffer. He's got a cat. Oh, he shaved his hair. What is that? Oh, it's like a music mixing thing, right? Death, attack on Titan in the background there. And with his dog. And this is him post Shroon out, I guess. Okay, let's see this video. Let me scan through this video and make sure I can post this. This is him playing with his man tits. So I'm not going to post this because I don't think I can do that. That might be sexual content. He was into Pokemon and Zelda. He became fascinated by RWBY and Clash Royale. 2018, he was interested in death metal and started getting Trump derangement system. He liked to play Fire Emblem Heroes. In 2019, he began watching anime. One of which, okay, anime people, listen up. You get to know if you're getting called out here. You ready? Toradora and K-On! I've never even heard of Toradora, so I feel bad for all the Toradora people out there. Let's see. In February 2019, he continues to learn guitar. And he starts liking anime porn, including anime porn of K-On! He starts getting anxiety in 2019. In April, he begins getting interested in Persona 5. He also gets a job at Steak and Shake. He missed prom night because he was an incel. In May, he's closing out of high school. He received an award for academic excellence. He has anxiety, and he's posting more creepy anime shit. In June, he's out of high school. He watches anime continuously without any obligations left in life. Okay, anime picture here. Let's check it out and see what's going on here. See what if your interests align. Okay. Pull this up real quick so I can name and shame this shit. June, all anime. Literally, that's it. Okay. He read the manga for Madoka. Sorry, that was covered up by the sword. I don't know why the letter is below the subject, because I don't know what an Adoka Magica is. But he apparently... I don't know if this is a DVD. It looks like a book, because the spine is on the other side. I think that this is in a manga of Adoka Magica. Okay. And then he has a tier maker of girls. So, of course, it's all lolicon up at the top. I can thankfully say that except for Explosion Girl and the character from K-On!, I don't recognize any of these people. I recognize the girl in front of the yellow background because there's a homophobic edit where she's dancing and it spews facts about gay HIV rates and how being gay is worse than smoking if you're gay. I have watched Madoka. a girl asked me to watch fucking the Madoka Magica movie with her. And I like that. My favorite character from that was Space Cat. I like Space Cat a lot. I thought he was an interesting design. But the ending of that movie was absolute fucking trash. In case you don't know how Madoka Magica ends, I'm gonna spoil it for you. The main girl tries to distort time so that she can save her lesbian friend, and then it's really sad. And then Space Cat is like, for 15 minutes, Space Cat says, "Good job, little girl. Your anime sacrifice was so big that it actually changed the laws of physics, and now there aren't monsters in the universe anymore. But it's going to reset everything. She'll be alive because of your sacrifice, but you won't know each other." How tragic and very tripe of me to do that. But I'm Space Cat, and I can do whatever the fuck I want. And that's spoiler. That's the ending of Madoka Magica, the movie. What was my favorite scene? I don't remember any other scenes besides that. I like Space Cat though. Next. Okay, let me hide this in case there's weird anime shit. I'm gonna call it every single anime that I see in this, and I'm gonna to epically fucking own everybody. Okay, look, I don't know what the fuck. If you like Monster, you're on this guy. You're a true and like this guy. If you watch Bloom Into You, and you like actually picked up this fucking thing with that cover, it's already too late. You're already a tranny. It's fucking over for you. He starts collecting figurines around this time. This is September 2019. His room is becoming a dungeon for hot gluing anime figurines, apparently. These are like $100 fucking vinyl Funko Pops. They're literally just Funko Pops, but in anime girl format that people buy and spend $100 on. You know it's true. You know it's fucking true. More bullshit with anime figurines. More bullshit. January 20. More bullshit. Look, I just want to make fun of the anime characters, okay? He says something about the Daily Caller. The Daily Caller says pedophiles believe they should be part of the LGBT community. And then this guy says, listen, even if you're not hurting children, you have the creepy attraction. It's about the concept. I can go fuck a guy consensually and it's not going to hurt anyone, but a pedo that acts on their desires can ruin a kid's life. That's not part of us. Get mental help. So now he's like LGBT, apparently. God, he buys so many of these plastic toys. Dude, if you own one of these anime Funko Pops, shame on you. Throw that shit out. Don't even sell it on eBay. Just fucking melt it down into a disc and throw it at the wall to shatter it. It's fucking cringe. More bullshit. Starting to churn out looking in June 2020. I need more shows that I can make fun of people for watching. He has an Earth Band poster. I don't know what that is. I think that's like a band. Okay, I got you. It does say band in the user handle. I think now he's no longer even watching anime because he's not posting any more posters I can make fun of. He's just masturbating to porn. I guess that's how the cycle goes. You watch K-On! And then you just stop watching. You like get really big into anime and you watch like 40 hours of it a week. And then after a couple months, you're just a coomer. You're not even watching anime. You're just watching the porn tags for the new shows coming out. Is this what happens? By the way, if you're an anime, stick around. I have a question for you later. All right. Just so you know, this is Nocturne. If you're into making fun of weeaboos, he's your new go-to. Kind of a small update. That Adrian Blair, the Ralph fucker who now fucks that Rockin' House guy that's like a tour node operator, she's been actually catching waves in like the pro-anonymity people by posting these exposés alleging that the federal government has been extra mean to her boyfriend for running tour nodes. But what he actually got scooped up for was as outlined by this other base black guy, hashtag one of the good ones, Mental Outlaw. He got scooped up for hacking his old job and costing them $500,000. And what she alleges is that they held on to this and charged him right before the statute of limitations expired because he wouldn't help them decrypt Tor traffic, which is nonsense. But that's what she alleges. So I trust the DOJ because anyone that Tacky is willing to fuck is a retard. That's my opinion on this. Still mostly famous for the ass napkins threat. That is correct. She's the one that fucked the other ED sysop guy that had anal seepage because he got his asshole fucked so hard by like his uncle or something that he could no longer poop properly. So instead of wearing like a diaper or doing anything dignified, he would literally just stuff napkins into his butt crack to soak up the poo. And then instead of flushing the poo napkins, he would leave them on the ground. And then Adrian Blair, aka the guy that was fucking this rockin' house guy and is trying to catch like black hat waves, she would wander around the house, and as she saw the poo napkins, she would throw them away. If you think that anything that I said is fake, just go to whatever search engine, type in Kiwi Farms ass napkins, Adrian Blair. Find that thread. It's legendary. And read it. These are all things that she directly said herself. And somehow the Kiwi Farms was able to not chase her off by making fun of her until she divulged all these deep, dark secrets about this loser that she was fucking. There you go. All right, I got a little bit of Bossman tint, of course, a little bit of Bossman tint. So he got banned on Twitch, and immediately he decided to stream this. Let's see what he's up to.
1 week, slow count plummeting. 1 week, no fucking shuffle reloads, probably. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it'll give me 500, I don't fucking know. That kind of shitty, though. That's kind of shitty, bro. Not gonna lie, pretty shitty. Oh, well. I'm gonna go to bed, though. I shouldn't even be alive right now. You know? I'm gonna get off, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. That's, I don't worry about it. I'm not tripping. I like Discord streams. They're cool. They're cool, man. I like Discord streams. They're cool. You know what I'm saying? They're cool, man.
I think without exception, without exaggeration, that Bossman Jack is probably the #1 streamer on Discord. He streams to like 2,000 people entirely in a private Discord channel. I think there might be... I don't think OnlyFans girls get the kind of live viewership that Bossman Jack does gambling at 2 o'clock in the morning. This is him attempting to picklock his own house, I think.
All right, here we go.
This door is locked. He can't get inside his house, so he decides to try and break into it. Let's see if he man.
Fuck. Oh, shit. How is it not working, bro? You just push down or you go up with a credit card? You go up or down? You go down, right? Down, right? Pretty sure? Or like just in the middle? Up? You sure? Really? Okay, let's start fucking up then. Oh, it's not doing shit, dude. Oh, it's not doing shit.
Apparently, he's been doing methamphetamine again, which apparently makes you want to break into your own house. And that is your Bossman update. Again, he's supposed to be on like 8 different kinds of probation or parole, or like some combination of probation and parole and deferred sentencing and so on and so forth. But they've just like completely given up on him, and they don't test him anymore, and they don't give a shit. So that seems to be where he's at. That's where the state of Virginia is at. Okay. Get a lockpicking set. I'll remind you that he is a crackhead, okay? He smokes meth. He's not buying a $12 picklock set. He's not buying the covert instruments lockpicking lawyer credit card thing and learning how to shimmy locks, okay? It's not happening. He smokes meth, all right? He's currently banned on Twitch, and that might impact his Gamba Sesh money, which is a tragedy to all mankind. God let him walk. That's right. He took Charlie Kirk, but he left behind Bossman. That's how it goes sometimes. Works in mysterious ways. All right. Here's some Reddit content from Sneeds. Our teachers. Students don't respect me because I am trans. I'm a first-year teacher of grade 6 math. I generally am really enjoying the experience, but it is overwhelming and intense, and I feel like there's a million things I am doing wrong. One of the biggest issues right now with my class in the middle of the day, it's a large class, 25 students in a tiny room, and they are consistently loud and difficult to control. I have multiple students complaining that they aren't able to learn, and I've even had some students transfer out. Today, I had an honest conversation with my class about why they feel it's so difficult to focus in my classroom. To give them credit, they were quite transparent. We don't like you or respect you, and our parents don't like you or respect you. I asked why that was, especially since I hadn't met the parents they were talking about. They said, in so many words, it is because you are a tranny. One of them said, if a dog wore human clothes, we wouldn't call it a human. They complain that I don't pass, that I am a distraction, and they don't have to respect me because of that. Now, I want to clarify this is not all students, hashtag not all students. It's just really my core troublemakers. But these individuals seem to feel they have free license to be rude and disruptive in my class because their parents have shown them that that is okay. And I can't call the parents as a consequence because clearly they won't do anything. Does anyone have any advice? The issue is not that my feelings are hurt, it's that other students are unable to learn. Transfer them out. I mean, if all the other kids don't give a shit, just transfer the ones that are causing issues. If they don't like you, transfer them to a different classroom and bring back the ones that do give a shit, right? Seems like simple problem to me, Mr. Math Teacher guy. This I've seen before. Was this because they've had this stage for several years, and every single time. Oh no, is this just reflection on this? They think that this is like an Odin sigil from like Nordic runes or something. The Turning Point CPAC, the CPAC stage. You can't really, if you make any kind of arbitrary geometric shape, you're going to find some kind of Nazi icon that looks a lot like that, I guess. But that's an archaotic good, I guess. I don't know what the fuck that means. From you, Bjorn Stangfinger. Okay. Leftovers H3, which I think is the new H3 Snark Rabbit. Have you heard about the Kino Casino? So Ethan Klein has promoted a show called Kino Casino and their coverage of him and Ian. However, the Kino Casino seems to be a far-right show. We might have a new strategy vector. Has anyone heard about the show? And if so, are the rumors of it being far-right hate show true? Space Ghost Nerve says, yeah, one of the hosts used to be nicknamed Andy Race Worski, and I don't know about the other fat sack of shit, but he's openly racist and also balding. NTR Man, so a literal tranny femboy anime avatar Reddit user with the name Cuckold Man says, wait, I remember Andy hosting tons of very far right and neo-Nazis on his podcast. And of course, he's familiar with mid-2010s far-right podcasts because he's Cuckold Anime Man, who is now an anti-Ethan Klein liberal A-log. All right. Deleted says, yeah, they're absolutely far-right. It's run by two guys, Andy Worski and Pay, who both have been doing stuff online for way too long to get into, but they're definitely far-right. I didn't know he was promoting them. I guess he's just masked off about promoting anyone who is vaguely supportive of him, regardless of who they are. Oddspring476 says, probably a coincidence but a rich Zionist actually helps finance that show. Gabe Hoffman is his name. I bribe my BF says, wait, which rich Zionists are financing Nazis? Wouldn't be the first time. They're on to him. The Gabe Hoffman trail is very deep, chat. And NTR Man is on the case. Okay. I should remind everybody that if you can't figure out locals, the Gumroad is available. manattheinternet.gumroad.com. I do cheese reviews, and I have very nice charcuterie boards with cheese spreads that I put a lot of effort into, chat. Over the weekend, I have some extra content I'll go over as part of the pre-super chat segment, okay? But I will be doing a review of Butch Killigan 1, 2, and then also, let me get the name of this book real quick. It will not be Harriet Porber and the Transsexual Cephalosaurus. This is Red Hood. My tranny comic arrived. I've only looked at the cover, and I gotta say, it fucking sucks. I'm already extremely disappointed, and I'll just get into it here in a second, okay? So I did my mail run, and part of my mail run, I took pictures of all the stuff I got. If you sent me anything, by the way, if you sent me any kind of letter, I read it as it came in. It's been over a year. And unfortunately, just because of how the box is organized, I don't know who gave what, but I am going to go over a lot of it. I received a bunch of 1964 JFK silver coins. They're $90 each, or not 90% silver each. There's about 30 of them. I've inspected them. Now, this is true. I have an assortment of instruments that you can see here, including I don't even know what you call that. I forgot the name of it, but I have this mathematical measuring thing. I have a scale, and I have extremely powerful rare earth magnets. A caliper, thank you. And when I went to flea markets in Europe, I would take these with me. And if the person behind the desk was brown, I would inspect their coins right in front of them. And I remember vividly one instance, because I got burned. I bought a fucking coin for like 40 euros that the guy swore up and down was 100% real. And he was like Arab. And I believed him because it had toning to it. It had a very pretty silver tone to it. And I thought that's kind of a weird detail to make on a fake coin. So I bought this, and it was fucking fake. It was fake as shit. They even faked the fucking silver toning to sell these things at flea markets. It's not even like on websites. It's like at random people in the street. So I was so burned by this, I bought all this shit. I remember one time I was inspecting a similar coin, and the guy was brown, so I whipped out all my equipment. And the first thing I did is silver is what they call ferromagnetic, which means it's weakly magnetic. If you put a rare earth magnet on a non-magnetic piece of metal, it will slide right off. If you put it on a magnetic piece of metal, it will stick tightly. If you put it on a piece of silver, it will slide off very slowly and then hang at the end, kind of like a water drop. And it's very hard to explain this, but that's how it acts. So I put the magnet on the coin, and it went tink and stuck right the fuck to it like a fridge. And I remember looking this fucking Arab in the eyes like, I got you, motherfucker. You were going to sell me this fucking fake piece of shit that you did fake fucking toning on, but I got you, bitch. I figured this out. I looked him out, and I put that fucker back on the table, and I walked away. And now he knows. He knows that white boy figured his ass out. All right. So that's my JFK. I did some measurement. This is a close-up of it. Just really nice. Check that out. That Americana does not get much better than this fucking emblem right here. This is peak fucking Americana. This was when we had a real proper country. This shit. This is carving right here. JFK. I checked, by the way, none of the coins are special. There's one that has a mint mark, and none of them have the fancy hair. Okay, this is my desk. I'm wearing gloves to protect my identity. There's a reason why I can't get into the Secret Service. I will not explain more. This is me explaining the magnet thing. That's a little itty bitty rare earth magnet, and that is a 1 ounce pure collectible thing. And that's also a beautiful American engraving right there. But I'm just showing how I tested. Big stack of it. It's 100 grams thereabout. They're a little bit less than what they say on the website, but I tested all of them. Chat, my beautiful silver. This, I believe this all came from a user called Non-Consensual Pronouns. And they're very funny. They're all Halloween themed. And that little coin that looks like a dime is actually what they call rough silver, I think. And it's basically when they take a stamper and they take a hot piece of silver and then they stamp it and it creates like a rough edge, kind of like an old Roman coin that you might see. And it's very cool looking. So all this is Halloween themed, and it's very nice. And I appreciate it a lot. My rule is I don't buy coins outside of the country of origin. And I don't usually buy stuff like this, but it's really nice. I'll probably put that in my next cheese picture. Someone sent in a Year of the Horse piece of silver. Here's the horse right there. And I weighed it, and that's a troy ounce. So it's 1 troy ounce. That was chinky, so I extra special tested it. Never trust the Asian coins either, chat. They're always fake. As you can see, I made sure to specifically include the magnet test because they might hollow the coin out or they might fill it with another filler to make it look like an ounce and weigh like an ounce, but they usually fuck up the magnet. So the magnet is very important, chat. Someone sent in a silver, I haven't pulled this out of the package yet, but I'm pretty sure it's silver just by looking at it. This is a silver proof Wisconsin quarter, which, as you may see, has a cow, a cheese, and a corn. 3 of my favorite things, all in one piece of silver. So really incredible, amazing, silver proof quarter right there, chat. I think you ever sent that. Then this was a 50 kroner. I think his name is Tizo. It's either Tito or Tizo or Tito. But he was the head of the Slovak state, which was a German puppet state after the annexation of Czechia in World War II. Briefly existed for the duration of the war. And they minted silver coins with his face on it in 1944. So I always had an interest in getting one of these. And Tito was the Yugoslav guy. Tizo was the Slovakian. So I got one of these. This was also a gift from somebody in Slovakia. I remember when they sent it to me, guys. I told them, don't send me something that you bought online. You have to go find it in a flea market, and they did. And that's really awesome. I appreciate that. Cows are a favorite of Josh. Yeah, I run a website called the Kiwi Farms full of lol cows, bro. Come on now. This is me measuring it. I measure all the fancy foreign metals because just want to be sure it is real. And it is real and raw, chat. This is the reverse of it. They still use that double-sided Orthodox cross. It's very Slovakian. It's very unique to their country. And I think they still use it on the flag to this day. This was from the Alaskan Mint. It is a gray whale, chat. It's just a regular round, but it's in a very cool little box. Somebody bought this from the Alaskan Mint because I think they were from Alaska, so they got me an Alaskan Mint coin. Very cool, chat. Can you buy this? No, not for sale. These are mine. Get your own. These, by the way, someone, I think 2 different people bought me like a proper, I even have different pictures. This is the United States Mint American Eagle. One for 2024 and one for 2025. It has a very cool box with the Treasury logo on it. A certificate of authenticity from the director of the U.S. Mint. And then mirror polish. Have to be super careful with that, okay? And that's the reverse. Check out that fucking reverse, chat. Isn't that beautiful? It's amazing. Okay. Someone else sent me a watch. And if you're this guy, you need to contact me because I have to thank you for it. You also sent me a piece of copper. And I'm getting used to wearing a watch, chat. My only complaint with it is that he replaced the dial. It's a mechanical watch. So you have to wind it every day. But my only complaint with it is that he replaced the knob, and the knob is a little bit bigger than the actual face of the watch, so it kind of digs into the skin just a little bit. It's not a Casio, it's a Wittnauer. So now I have a watch, chat. I'm a very, very refined person. Someone sent me a letter from the NAACP by Derek Johnson and Leon Russell. That card is a lifetime inward pass. I will be putting it in my wallet because one day it'll be very funny to have it. It has my name engraved on it, and it's actually metal. So it's not like a cheap card. It is a metal like sheet with my name emblazoned on it. So yeah, that's cool. I will be carrying that with me, obviously. So now can I say it? Can I say nigger, chat? I think I have. Let me get the pass here. Hold up. Where did I put it? Oh no! Have I lost it? Or no, I put it back by the silver. Okay, I see. Here we go. Hear the metal, chat? It's the metal, so you know it's real. You know it's real. What if I tap the JFK coin with the metal thing? Okay. Oh yeah, there you go. You hear that fine silver hit by the inward pass, chat. Okay. Nice. Next, I got 3 bottles of Ricky's hot sauce, regular hot sauce, jalapeno sauce, and habanero sauce. So at some point, I'm going to have to go to Buffalo Wild Wings and get like a giant box of unseasoned chicken wings, and then one with the regular hot sauce, and compare the Ricky's hot sauce to each of the Billy Mitchell sauces and see which one's best. Very cool. This has been sitting in a box somewhere for a long time, so hopefully it's still good. This is the picture of Harriet Porber that I read just a small excerpt from, just in case it was cursed. Okay. Someone invited me to their wedding. I would not show you. I can't show you the picture. I can't go because number one, it already happened. Number two, it was in California. I'm not going to California. They looked normal. The lady was Mexican, I believe. But he is in California, so that's basically your options: is a Mexican that makes good tamales, or like an insane liberal woman. So he picked the Mexican, colonized. Instead of showing you the actual invitation, I'll show you, or the photo they sent me. This was the message. He says, I spent 20 minutes on our first date explaining Kiwi Farms to her, and she didn't leave, so I guess she's the one. Never ask a racist the color of his wife. Congratulations. Happy to help. Hopefully your genes are strong enough to bleach the fucking native devil in her. Good luck with that. Then, okay, I have like 6 things of Butch Killigan now. I have 3 copies of book 1, 1 with a special cover, and then 2 of book 2. And they each came with like collectible cards, and then like this poster in the background, or these like postcards. I'm not joking. I have 5 Butch Killigans, so I should probably read one for the stream. And then it came with posters. One from Iconic Comics is the publisher. This one's pretty cool. The thing with like the tentacles in the back, that's pretty cool. The one in here, that might have to go in the burn pile. That's a little bit too anime for me. Okay, I don't approve of that. That might be going in the burn pile with the Harriet Porter book, unfortunately. And then the other thing, now you might think, Josh, the ISO on your camera is fucked up. That picture's way too dark. Okay, here's what I got, right? This is Red Hood by DC. You can see the DC comic in it. And this is a special cover by some Asian guy. And it was the only one they had available. It was extra expensive because it's a special edition cover. The rest they had either thrown out or had already sold because they only bought like one of each. And this was one that was left. This thing is supposed to be holographic, right? So I suspected that when I got this comic, it would light up like a Charizard card and it would be super cool and shiny. It is pitch fucking black. Even in full, you can see the illumination on the top. You can see that it actually gets light in that picture. It's just so dark you can barely fucking see anything. So I was really, really disappointed by the cover because I'm like, I can't fucking. It's supposed to be a really cool collectible edition cover, and it's so dark I can't fucking see it. So that pissed me off. And then I looked. It's short as fuck. It's like 15 pages long. And look, I'll save it for the thing. Subscribe to the Gumroad, mathiernet.gumroad.com. I'm gonna compare this to Butch Killigan. Okay, I'm gonna do Sven Stoffels a favor here because I opened it and I just to look at it, and I was actually really angry. This is like the first DC comic I've ever looked at in my life. I can't fucking believe what they do to you people that buy this shit. Like, if you buy DC comics, you must be like into like sadism and non-consensual. You just like getting raped. So I'll compare it to Butch Killigan this weekend. And then I'm doing my computer thing, so I'll be doing that. This is the other cover of this, I think. Oh, it has the name of the artist. Issue 1. You can't even see it, by Felker Martin. And then it's the variant cover by Kuyong Im. I don't even know if he's to blame for this shit ass cover or if it's like the printer did him wrong, but it's like dark as shit. You can't like, no fucking idea how it's so fucking dark. But that's it. That's the mail haul with Josh. Okay, I will now begin the Superberry segment properly. Do not send me stuff to that PO box that you expect me to get, because if I'm not expecting it, the orders are to throw it out. Do not ever send me electronics; they will be destroyed. Okay. So, let us begin. I promised I would read the old Monero and YouTube super chats first. So that would be the ones since the 12th. All right. Fentard for 2 says, I mean, the left has literally been saying for years that they will get rid of fence centers or centrists because silence ends violence and not picking a side against pure evil that is the right is wrong. Also, far left thinks centrist equals left, center left. Fentard for 2 also says, and before the Kirk thing was some accelerationist group like the New Zealand shooter, but more gay, just to cause a spiral. I mean, that seems to be true because apparently he had friends. The FBI would say that, and nobody would believe them. It would just deepen the mistrust, which is also true. Because apparently he is in a circle and nobody believes it. Idaho for 3 says, hey Josh, I live in Idaho. There's barely any hoops to jump through and I can get a gun same day. I'm thinking of getting a Glock or any other handgun. Any suggestions? P.S. People get upset over your pronunciations of boys. I think it's Boise, Idaho. I don't know. I don't care, bro. It's a stupid ass fucking name. Change it. I'm not the guy to ask for gun suggestions. You should participate in the Kiwi Farms gun thread, my dude. The lowercase L Linternet for $20 says, congrats on your success over the UK and your legal case. Keep up the good fight defending the Linternet. Though bitching to the government, all things are through bitching to the government, all things are possible. The price of liberty is eternal vigilance. It's true. I've recently brought up a new man-child hobby. My hobby is to read the Federal Registrar every day and find issues to complain about on the internet, because a lot of the things that I find to complain about, they are already extremely old and there's only a couple days left for public comment. So I'm trying to find things as they happen so I can be one of the first to complain about it. Okay. In case you're wondering, I cannot show super chats like this on the screen because they are old. I will show the new ones on the screen when I get to them. Noah M11NYC for 150 says, I stole my mom's Monero wallet. Please add me on the Fediverse. Seared Bite for 150 says, since you like to practice your German these days, can you read this headline? And then there is a nice digital crew media file. Let's see. India man ploppen Schattenfoot im Autobus. Der Autobus ist einem Stinkebus, which appears to be a man from India shit in a public bus, and then I guess verbally aloud spoke to the people in the bus and said, the bus is a stinker bus. It is no longer an Autobus, it is a stinker bus. So that's what's going on in Germany, in case you're wondering. By the way, I think that's Dutch, because I don't think the Germans refer to the bus as the Autobus, but that might be Dutch. I'm not entirely sure. Kurt Eichenwald, anime masturbator for 10 says, glorious Kiwi Emperor, attention, Hollow Knight Silk Song has a bathhouse peeping scene, which is an anime thing. I am very happy to inform you that Australians goon to anime and also want to fuck insects. That is all. I knew about the anime and the insects, so. So, too many Browns in Fatherland for 1450 says, I'm in Europe for the first time, Munich specifically. I see what you mean about cheese. While I'm here, is there one cheese that you would recommend I seek out? Try Limburger. Can't go wrong with that. Or try blue cheese from France. Otherwise, no, just enjoy your cheap, high-quality cheese. Let's see. I should stop at the... Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where... Alfred's is where I stop reading news. Ian Washburn for 5 says, Josh, I highly recommend the game Cultic for spooky season. High quality boomer shooter, 2 full single player campaigns, only $20. Also Odyssey. And then there's a link to Zizern's Odyssey.com video for the Niggy Song 4, which I will pass on. But if you have a game recommendation, post it at the internet with your explanation, because I will be playing some games in October. I'll be trying to stream a lot in October because it is my month. George Zen, Mean Bean Machine for 150 says, Dear Josh, I regret to inform you that charliesmurders.com and charliekirkdata.org, the 2 most popular websites for phone booking celebrated at Charlie Kirk's death, are down and have been for 5 days. Could you host something similar? I'm not hosting shit. I'll be happy to help them, but I'm not hosting I'm not fucking touching that, bro. Look, I'm old, okay? I can't do that shit anymore. I will help in any way I can, but I am not hosting a political murderer doxing website. All right. Sorry, I hate to disappoint. I'm in my 30s now. Okay. All right. Then the YouTube ones from last week, and then we're back in current timeline. Danino for 2 says he's very late and gay. Whoa, buddy. Tell me about it. Jane and John Doe for £5 sterling says the Great Flushing. The title suggestion in regards to the H-1B visa, which has already been walked back by fucking Trump. So I have to encourage that motherfucker put his fucking effort in. Zigo0 for 2 says, money, have a great weekend. Thank you. Komodo45 for 5 Australian says, do more collaborative streams with H, the casino null, you slobbering mutt dog thing creature. But if I do that, the Discord servers ran by Brian Dunn will be very angry at me, and people will spam mean things at me on my own forum. I don't know if I can do that. Masiko Y for 5 says, Jim Tressel announced he's running for governor. Ohio may be saved from Vivek after all. Going to try and canvass for him and put up flyers. He announced he's not running for governor, sir. I am sorry that you got that wrong, but you're very wrong on that. Danino for 2 says, Blow Blacks has put a pink bow on his zitter name. Disgusting. Nikito for 10 says, nice overlay, my nazy. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm sorry that your bullets did not spawn when you posted this. BD for 5 says, Josh, not everyone in big tech is after your ass. Things are slowly changing because you have people that like you in certain places. I think someone sent me an email along these lines or a message on Twitter. Yeah, I know. But it'll be a long time before Neil Mahan is ripped out like an aborted baby and thrown away like an aborted baby. Sneedcat for 5 says, my first time actually catching Maddie live in a long time. Thank you, dear Juice. You're welcome. Thanks for watching on last Saturday. BD for 2 says, where did all the videos on Kik go? I delete them routinely. Deadbeat Husband for €2 says, best wishes from Calcutta. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Koya Dante for $20 says, I visited family recently and met someone they're renting a room to and didn't ask. I swear it was a trans-identifying female, 5'4", stupid tattoos, voice squeaky as a grass whistle. Sounds like a fucking troon to me, bro. Just saying. TF Low for 10 says, give me the ability to buy copious amounts of Maddie's shirts. We are demanding swag. There's still some shirts left on the site, I think. But thank you. John for 2 says, BF6 cheating troon was also on Keffel's Troonshine. I saw. I think I talked about that even. I don't know if I did. He was taking the box with the little anime boy on it. Conch Jonch for 2 it says, in case you missed it, Trump added a 100K H-1B fee. I did not miss it, but they did walk it back already. Esteban for $50 says, thanks for documenting these people who hurt children even when no one else seemed to care. It makes a difference. Not sure. That's probably referring to the Troonshine shit, I think, when that came through. Thank you. John for 2 says, Onion Troon made It's Time to Stop Sam Hyde video. Oh, that didn't work out. Koya Dante for 20 says, Fenster was not trooned by a Saudi. That is misinformation. The whale was a Texan radiologist named Larry Edwards. Sorry, I didn't mean, I got the more interesting story in my head, I guess. Seth Semerzian for 20 says, going forward, this will be a weekly message raising awareness for the bad guys' Second Life trolling channel Remembrance and praying now their channel can come back. In the end, we all make it to Pocnos. I don't know if you got what you were hoping for, but with the Maslin band, there's a good chance it might come through. Good luck with that. Nevergoon for 2 Canadian dollars says, can you react to Dead Internet Despot's VTuber video? No, I cannot. Sorry. All right, current timeline. Alfred Huwegenberg for 50 in Monero says, XOXO. Thank you very much. Monero Monkey for $100 says, let the bullets rain. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, you sent that too early and it didn't actually get added, but it didn't crash my site or my back end, so I guess that's a good thing. Thank you. Monero Monkey for 5 says, Ludwig is the guy who let his Smash player friend Mango get wasted and ruin his marriage by sexually harassing that Asian woman on live stream. He's a certified LA braintard. Very sad, very cringe. Kurt Eichenwald, anime masturbator for 10 says, glorious Kiwi Emperor, woe filled with sadness, voices ignored, left unread, time for Sudoku. In regards to me not reading the Monero super chats last week. Captain Young Thug for 2 says, hardy our neighbors. I guess he said it, but I can't abuse it, Chad. I can't abuse my past. There's a thing I'm playing for the end, I guess, for the outro song. Monero Monkey for $50 says, can't watch live. Enjoy your weekend, Jersh. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Stone Toss for 150 says, that's not Shmorky, probably a copycat that's been using AI. The shirts do not match the quality of his old merch. Probably guy is an amateur. Also, your rep is going wild. And then I think this is something about APAC. I did see this. Matt Gaetz was calling out APAC because he's no longer on Congress. Someone for 150 says, everything I want to do is illegal is a book full of stories about how bureaucrats prevent local food while protecting the big producers, from being told to wash clean eggs to Jeets not washing their hands at the big processing plants. Worth a read. Yeah, it sounds up my alley. Is that why we have to wait? Do we have to? Okay, if you ever go to Europe, one of the first things you'll notice in any grocery store is that the eggs are not refrigerated. And to an American, you go, whoa, doesn't that mean they're going to spoil? Do they just sell all these eggs every day? You don't have to wash eggs. I don't know if you know this, but when a chicken lays an egg, it doesn't refrigerate it. An unfertilized egg will stay good for a long time, but Americans refrigerate it. And I've always thought it was just because Americans are stupid. Is it because of the FDA or USDA requires us to wash the eggs and remove the protective film on them? Is that why we do that? Oh my God. I can't believe that. I never heard that before. I just assumed that Americans were fucking retarded. I mean, we are, but it's not every grocery store's fault, I guess. Okay. I see. Hacking But Legal for 3 says, hey Josh, your website has a long thread on me divulging private information about my life. It says I'm obese, have giant hands, abandoned my kids, and excessive credit card debt over $200,000. For the record, I am not obese, but you are an incel. Good to know. Hacking But Legal. Thank you. The lowercase L Litternet for 6 says, rip Charlie, formerly Chuck. Thank you. My mom loves Tylenol for 3. Says, not a big E-Celeb fan, but I always look forward to your reporting on the news each week. It's refreshing hearing things not run through the MSN narrative filter. You're like the millennial version of Alec Jones, only less retarded. There are many ways to interpret that, but I'll interpret that very positively. Thank you. I appreciate it. Doug S for 3 says, Whitnauer watches are great. Congrats. The dude just started your journey into mechanical watches. They're great because it's one of the few buy-it-for-life items that a man can have these days. We need to return to cars without screens and real watches. I agree. We have to get I hate seeing a fucking TV screen in my car. I was always told that distracted driving was bad, but now they just put media centers in your console. Too Many Browns in the Fatherland for 15 says, your cheese advice was too late. I'm back in the U.S. and I'm doomed to only eat cheddar now. Tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. You're going to have to end up with a $100 a month cheese subscription. Thank you. About Tree Fitty for 5 says, hey Josh, this is my boyfriend's account, but today's his B-day, so I wanted to surprise him and say, happy birthday, prick, LOL, surprise. Well, there you go, about Tree Fitty. Just like, how Steak on YouTube, his subscribers steal their mom's credit cards to buy super chats. Your girlfriend apparently steals your credit card to buy your gift for you. Happy birthday. Rudolph Boykin for 5 says, by the time you read this, I'll be returning from picking up my infant son from daycare. What wisdom would you like to impart on his subconscious? Be selfish. There's too much of an emphasis on being courteous to everybody. You should actually be selfish and only take care of other people when your needs are met. Peen Wienerstein for 5 says, delinquent and homosexual. Not very. I did warn you. David Lammy for 1 says, come to England. No. Citrus Addict for 1 says, please don't go to England. Yes. The Horse Beater for 1 says, ferocious sneed. I agree. The Bugs for 1 says, nigga, he is not going to England. Bish. True. Oh my God, Kawaii Angel for 20 says, hi Noel, buy yourself a nice delicious with Hawaiian pizza with extra cheese with this. Have a date next week. Wish me luck, dear feeder. Well, good luck. Just don't eat a Hawaiian pizza on the date because she will leave you. Thank you. Murdoch Chan for 5 says, bullet for the bullet pile. Actually, that will get you 10, I think. Thank you. Zion Hunter for 530 says, hello, Josh. I used to be your Janny many moons ago. I'm glad to see you are back. It's true. You were a moderator on the Discord and the YouTube way, way back when. Thank you. TB Deluxe for 10 says, Josh wakes up to the stream on time, 142 Florida IQ. Okay, let's see. Um.
He's more clever than he looks.
That's pretty good. I guess that was back when The Simpsons was funny. Thank you. Drewby82 for 5 says, afternoon, Josh, did you see that the Kash Patel hearings, the Congress wants to go after Section 230 again? Yes, I talked about that last stream. You think they'll clamp down on internet platforms? Yes, I do. I believe that the free internet is not long for this world. Now, Scott 5 for 5 says, in the pipe, 5 by 5. I never understood what that meant, and then I had to look it up, and apparently it means that 5 by 5 is like very clear, favorable conditions or something for landing. It's not a nonsense statement. Good luck 7 for 1 says, dot. Thank you. RP for 2 says, lowercase I, uppercase everything else, internet. Melon Salt for 2 says, has Greta and Nina hunted you down yet while taking a shit again? Yeah. No, they have not. Bean for 5 says, Juice needs a man around the house that can show him how to operate a computer and stream properly. Yeah, fucking right. Logistical Nightmare for 10 says, Wallpaper Bros, we're so back because it's so over. Look, by the way, it wasn't my fault. It was Rumble's fault. Rumble was fucking shit. Bunker Housing for 5 says, woohoo, I come to Maddie for all my quality live troubleshooting sessions. That's not my fault. I didn't do it. Cole for 2 says, I remember a long time ago, you said something along the lines of Gumroad content would be made public on Rumble like a week later. The last one I see is Cornstarch. Any updates, or am I schizo? I think the last one I did was the veto one. I guess I could make that public. You can just subscribe on fucking Gumroad, man. Come on now. Peen Wiener Scene for 5 says, no, you should make a rule marker with labels for the background to measure the bullet pile as it grows throughout the stream with funny labels and such. I need to go back to my original idea of having the bigger donations be giant boxes. I think that would work better. Crispy Legs Forever for 10 says, happy Friday. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Lilanthia for 10 says, thanks, Josh. Orthodox emoji, ham jam emoji. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Brutus 000 for 5 says, hey, Josh, long-time listener, first time doing thanks for the laugh and entertaining content. Brush your teeth, bitch. I've recently gotten into a weird dental obsession where I've been brushing my teeth twice a day with like whitening fluid and everything. I don't know why. I've usually been pretty like careless about it, but recently I've just been... I think because I've lost weight, my breath has started smelling worse, and I've just become like obsessed with it. I don't know why. Dedius 812 for 5 says, I owe you 5 for calling that Daddy Jim would find God. I don't know where I did that. If you can remind me when I called that, I would appreciate it, because I saw this message in some other context. I think you sent it on Twitter, and I don't remember what you're talking about. Euclid Sneed. No, my mouthwash does not have fluoride in it. Thank you. Euclid Sneed for 10 says, YouTube blink. This is my nigga. M stands for money. Please enjoy. Okay.
Picking up my phone line, the whole time it's a gold line. Missed calls on the sunlight, I will ring till the sunrise. Cross the line when I first buy some paper chase, I'm on my grind. Rapid handshakes and king size, with the rats and the reptiles. Drop down and the glass out, throwing rocks gets you kicked down.
I don't know what this is, but it kind of scares me, so I'm going to end it there. Thank you. The Fias Pillager for 5 says, my good Sai, I ask that you do the Sneedful and add a new reaction sticker to your internet form that expresses gratitude towards a post regarding Indians or India as a superpower. Jar Shri Krishna Sar. So once the check deposit thing is coming in, I'm gonna grift in a way that nobody has ever thought possible. I am adding an Indian content and Jewish content reaction to the forum, but only for the $20 a month sponsors. This will drive potentially up to $20,000 a month of revenue for the Kiwi Farms. So if that is of interest to you, it will be gatekept to such a degree, but it will allow me to hire people to work on my fucking site so I can do other shit. That is the plan. Escapo for 5 says, Happy Pizza Day. Do you think the people who are unbanned on YouTube would have reasonable grounds in a civil case for loss of money? No, Section 230 strictly and clearly prohibits any such action. The Horse Beater for 1 says, Josh, remember Trump's major autism announcement? Yes, that was the Tylenol thing. Kurt Eichenwald, anime masturbator, for 10 says, Glorious Kiwi Emperor, bullets for glorious Nambu pistol folded over 10,000 times. I don't know what a Nambu pistol is. It sounds like from Star Wars. Thank you. Simulligan 2 for 2 says, the Ralph News trolling you showed was done by pedophile and ghost lord Nick Fuentes ripoff SPG Politics, who got the idea from the tryhard community trolling Oddcast with it. Okay. I mean, the joke was mine, so I didn't rip it off, if that's what you're saying. Dark Western for 2 says, for 3, but also 1, but really just $2 says nothing. Great super chat. Thank you. Euclid Sneed for 2 says, sorry, you watched too much Saved by the Bell. It's true. My mind is raw. That was the original brain what. Space Allen for $50 says, ham jam. Thank you very much, Space Allen. I appreciate it. Peppermint Swirl for $5 says, I think it needs to be covered that monoculture has fucked over most of our fruits too. It's only a matter of time with plant disease. Yeah, it's true with bananas. Every banana is a genetic clone, and there's a disease that kills the bananas. So one day we will lose the bananas we know and love. We've already lost bananas we know and love. There was a better variant of that banana that has been lost because it succumbed to blight. People born in the 50s ate tastier bananas. That's how bad down bad we are. That in the 50s, literally the bananas were better. Citrus Addict for 1 says, speaking of our broken food industry and corrupt laws, you should see how bad the laws are surrounding meat from the pest species of wild pigs destroying shit. You can't just shoot them? That's surprising. Dead Lion for 5 says, imagine being willing to kill someone with the name of Jimmy fucking Kimmel. Kill someone in the name of Jimmy fucking Kimmel. It couldn't be me. Debugs for 1 says, does Serbia make guns? Yes. IHC 1996 for 10 says, Josh, whenever the Kiwi Farms manages to bully yet another trans person to suicide. Oh, God. This better not be cringe.
I knew you would see my child. Welcome home.
I don't know what that means. Is this like the tranny Borg that they all get sent to when they die? Couldn't be me. Genjada for 10 says, I can't give you $10 on Kick, just saying. Well, I guess we got to fix that. Thank you. Borello Furman for 1 says, nothing. Thank you. Awaken 34 for 10 says, for community managers, my suspicion is that the power and attention goes right to their head. Or like what happened to Twitter when they had real life guideline managers. That just goes crazy. I don't know. I think they're just retarded. Joephis Oglethorpe for 5 says fat. The uncredited for 5 says lowercase I internet. I don't know if these are related comments. Awaken 34 for 5 says, I heard some stories about Twitter enforcers that became red pilled too. Started fucking like rabbits. Another became a flat earther. What are you fucking talking about, bro? Not heard any of this shit. Nikita for 10 says, my great uncle was driving in Poland fleeing a death camp, but some Nazi had painted a tunnel on a mountain. My uncle drove into it and was tragically holocausted. This is how they handled the Polish people. They would paint these fake tunnels all over the place, and the big mountains that go through Poland. Because Poland's really famous for their mountainscapes, and a lot of people would just drive right into them, and it was really sad, man. Thank you. Mugger Housing for 3 says, how do you think Destiny's suicide by Nazi plans are progressing? Like I said last time, I think that he's just too big of a fucking loser for anyone to bother. Anime Sucks, Cope and Sneed for 1 says, Goofy Podca. Anime Sucks, Scope and Sneed for 1 says, Neko Tioto for 10 says, I'll catch the restream, just want to shout out the bun posters. And then there is a thread about bunnies on the Kiwi Farms that he wants to shout out. So I'm going to show the bunny. Okay, here we go. That's a nice bunny. Thank you. Sneak Cricket for 2 says there was a regional burger chain that had issues and decided to rebrand as hip and modern. One of their options was a LGBTQ pride burger. Safe to say they went out of business fast. I wonder what happens if you make a burger chain that's called like No Tranny Burger, and if you go there and you look like a tranny, you get asked to leave. Would you go to that? Would you eat those burgers? I should get back into the burger business, chat. Sneed is standing for 5 says, you forgot the best part about crazy Rebekah lady. She was a professor who cheated with a student, got pregnant, stalked the student, and then left her when he left her, and then forced her husband to raise the cuck baby. Is that really the best part? Is that the word that you would use to describe that story? Logistical Nightmare for 10 says, do you think the yarn wig is still the same, or has it been ship of thesis? What yarn wig? I know what you're talking about, but I don't know who off the top of my head. It's probably still the same wig, if I had to guess. They don't put maintenance into anything. Shmorky. Oh, yeah. Trannies don't take care of shit unless it's like Gooner related. Haramburger for 2 says, it's exciting to chat in all possible simultaneous streams. Quantum shit posting. I use Kick to call my Rumble account the N-word. YouTube Haramburger laughed. Good to know that we have developed the tools required for this. Awaken 34 for 1 says, it's not that the ice shooter leaned back. It looks more like he shot himself standing up and fell backwards onto that roof. Yeah, that could also be it. He is pretty like locked into that position, though. I could imagine if he leaned back. Citrus Act for 1 says, if those mints have any sugar in them, they make your breath worse in like 5 minutes. I think they might. I don't think so. The Bugs for 1 says, this Jeet you quoted tweeted picture disgusted me. Show the chat. Okay. Oh, yeah. The Sagos Barat says, and this is the attitude for which whites will be colonized and taught the lesson. Fortunately, we do have to get rid of all the Jeets. Not even numerals for 10 says, Ulysses 31, Thundercats, and Jamie the Magic Torch all have theme tunes that destroy faggy Pokemon. Unfortunately, this is completely wrong, and Thundercats was fucking gay. Sorry to say. Indomitable for 5 says, more pellets, the pile must grow. By the way, what camera do you use? Your cheese picks are great. I am very embarrassed by how much I spent on a camera, so I'm not going to tell you. Sorry. It was a tax write-off. Don't even get antsy with me. David S877 for 25 says, went to save my hot take until after YouTube. Sadly, I don't have one, so here's some money anyways. You know, it's if you really think about it, it's not the thought that counts. It is the bullets. I thank you. Escape for 2 says, Joshua Fat. Banana Plugs for 1 says, no, you dummy. Ladybird is not Rust. It's C++ and being rewritten to Swift. I heard it was Rust. Grim Reaker for 10 says, DHH, creator of Rails Anarchy, is based in anti-Trune. That is based. Thank you. Citrus Addict for 1 says, why is Ellen Page insert anything wrong with here? Go watch the movie Hard Candy for all the answers you need for trauma-induced skeletal stunting to truning. TPD. Never heard of it. Debugs for 10 says, while I was looking for guns online, I saw that Rhode Island is banning the sale and manufacturing of assault weapons, and then I saw this god-awful video. Okay. Good to know that Kangol won't get any assault weapons. He's very dangerous.
Did you know that assault weapons are legal here in Rhode Island?
As a mom, Rhode Island must ban assault weapons because assault weapons are weapons of war and they have no place in the state of Rhode Island.
As a lifelong Rhode Islander, I can think of nothing more important that we could do this year than ensuring that the assault weapons ban is passed.
As mother, grandmother, and survivor of gun violence, Rhode Island lawmakers need to pass the assault weapons ban.
I'm asking you to join me and urge your state lawmakers to vote yes on a ban on assault weapons.
Moms demand action. I have a theory that liberal women are extra vocal, and liberal men are like weak and submissive. And the opposite is true with conservatives. And that is why you get these people who are basically advertising for repealing the 19th Amendment. I think that's what it is. It's like liberal men are super henpecked by like these hyper testosterone women. And then the opposite is like you have like happy mothers and stuff who are like mild mannered and pleasant. And then you have like more high testosterone men. And that's the core issue. Is that's why everyone thinks women ruin society when they vote more conservative than any other demographics men do. It's just because liberal women are just awful. I think that's the issue. You can't even say feminism because very specifically what they're advertising is not feminism. When you're a woman that supports men, rapey men being in your daughter's bathroom, you're not a feminist. You're not advocating for like self enfranchisement. You're advertising for like rape, which is not generally not rape is not usually considered a feminist virtue. The bugs for once that I'm glad I don't live in Rhode Island. Suffa Sam Hyde. About Street Video 1 for 20 says, don't know if anyone sent you this, but it's one of the most thorough and concise debunking of trans propaganda I've ever seen. Jump to 2420? Bro, come on. It's always at the end, too. I start getting the videos. Jump to 2420 and then sends me a timestamp for 35 minutes in.
Some people who are activists actually do get to know real people in Palestine on the ground, and I'm not referring to them, but
okay, Simone and Malcolm seem to really enjoy extra thick black frame glasses to the point where they kind of look like they're cosplaying as each other, if you know what I mean.
When I hear about general people, they're not really talking about stuff happening there that's real. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Go on.
Right. So then I had this thought to myself where I'm like, well, you know, anti-trans violence is real, right? Like, should they not be arming themselves to protect the trans community from violent crimes, right? I was like, this is like a real potential thing. And then I had, unfortunately, a very naughty follow-up thought, which is, wait a second, but is it? I should probably just run the numbers to check. All right. So there's a lot of groups that check how many trans and non-binary people are killed violently every year. So I go to an AI. I'll sort of walk you through my revelation on this because it gets progressively worse as it gets deeper. And I was like, okay, calculate the rates that the orgs are saying number of trans people died versus the gen pop of violent murders. Okay. And this is trans and non-binary people. So, you know, a wide net here. All right. To calculate the rates, I'll use the midpoint of 31 transgender and gender expansive people killed in the US for 2024 due to fatal violence based on the 30 to 32 range from advocacy tracking. For the transgender population, you have around 1.6% of the US transgender and non-binary of the US population. So that's approximately 340.1 million people in 2024, which equates to 5.44 million transgender individuals. Now, the transgender homicide rate. That would mean that the transgender homicide rate is around 0.57 per 100,000 trans individuals. The average American homicide rate is 5.
What? Wait.
Individuals. That means that the transgender community and non-binary community has a homicide rate that is 11.4% the average American.
That is wild.
Hold on.
Because they don't leave their fucking houses. Is this really? I've never believed this statistic that they were at a higher rate of violence. And I've always believed that if it was not made up, it was because they're fucking prostitutes. And prostitutes experience a higher rate of violence than the average public. Though they don't leave their fucking houses. They're at home gooning to anime figurines. How are you going to get shot by some gangbanger if you're just at home gooning on your fucking hot glue anime figurines? You're not. I've never believed it. I never empathized. I never simpied. I never accepted any of this bullshit. And always remember, chat, no matter what happens to me, remember that I was somebody who never once ever fucking believed any of this fucking garbage. I never once let up. I never once yielded to the mob. I never once gave people what they wanted. I've always said they're fucking gross men. I'm not playing this fucking game. Anna Wall, for one, says, ah, ha, 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 ha. Rudolph Boykin for 2 says, I remember one time when I was a teenager and my mom called me a son of a bitch during an argument. I replied, yeah, that's my point. I'm pretty sure I got hit with a wooden spoon for that. Pastel Starlight for 5 says, are we starting a Chantal death pool? Legitimately stunned. She did zero research about Islam or Syria before moving there. She's such a dumb fuck. I mean, she knew, but she just assumed that what's his face would protect her. Now, Scott 5 for 5 says, Chantal must return to her one true love, Pete's, inshallah. Yeah, that's not fucking happening. Nobody loves Pete's. Bunker Housing for 5 says, think if Chantal went to a remaining embassy, look and run into this. I'm not opening no BitChute fucking thing for $5. Sorry. Bunker Housing for 3 says, because vampires are from Romania. So just assume that video was something about vampires, okay? Meowga 1 for 5 says, the Medicare had a son. Would he end up like Destiny's Child? No, he'd probably end up like a am I allowed to say Elliot Roger? Because I think that's what Sargon said. He was going to make a bunch of little Elliot Rogers. I'm sure you've been fine. Okay. As long as he moves out of Minneapolis. Humble Guardsman for 7 says, go to your closest Eastern Orthodox church. I don't know if you know this, but they're not fucking any of those anywhere in the U.S. unless you live in the Northeast. Pete Wienerstein for 10 says, definitely ban the guy who said Jim renounced VTubers. The other stuff is great, and I thought he saw the light on anime shit too. He got me as well. Fuck that guy. Well, if he ever burns his anime collection, his soul might just depart. Like, that's the only thing keeping him. It's like it's like you will live a half-life, a cursed life. But the anime is keeping him tethered to the mortal coil. Thank you. Awaken 34 for 2 says, well, I don't think we're on the brink of Star Trek era. I do see the merits, spelled wrong, of this belief as things like fusion reactors are on the verge of being completed in 2 to 5 years. Nigga, if you think that we're going to get fusion reactors, look at Germany and how they shut down all their nuclear reactors when a war started, and their main supplier of gas is the enemy in this war. If there was a fusion reactor, oil bag McMoneybucks would take a crowbar and just start bashing in the heads of every fucking egghead Jeet working that fusion reactor, okay? That shit would be closed down for ecological reasons in a month. Lunar Boy for 5 says, imagine all of this because some chick wanted good reviews on her game 10 years ago. Zoe Quinn led the way. Escapo for 5 says, a long time ago you would play 10-second segments of Justice music, and that made me a fan of them. Are you still a fan? They're doing some shows in Florida soon. You should go. Yes, I was listening to Justice not too long ago. I don't remember. I can pull it up, I guess. I'll count to 30 and see if I can pull this up in that time. Let's see if I can find it real quick. No, I don't see it. It was on the same album as Stress, I want to say. Actually, not even. It had like a blue cross. Oh no, it was the one that I played at the beginning of the stream. There was another one that I listened to that was really good too. I do like them though. The false copy of Senator for 1 says, Jim is a dying man who says he now believes in God at the end of his life. Not really surprising. I guess the constant pain finally broke the coolest kid on the internet. That's one way to put it. Vordier for 10 says, watch this real quick. Jim disavows YouTubers in it, I promise. This is definitely some fucking gay anime set. Full episode 0 through 12, my dear friend Noko-tan. And it appears to be an anime girl with a Maple Story face and deer ears. It's anime powered by Remo. I'm not playing that. Cole Dante for 20 says, hold on a minute. This is very strange. You're telling me a troon is an incestuous pedophile rapist. This is the first time I've ever heard something like this. Are you Donald Trump? You tell me this for the first time. Wow. Pedophile rapist troon. Wow. Thank you. Arendelle for 1 says, is in the super chats of that stream, Jim did mention that he and Jade are finding a church. Jim is interested in Catholicism while Jade is pushing for Protestantism, evangelism, or Lutheranism. My issue with the Catholic Church is that they say that the speaker for God on this earth is a man who kisses Negro feet, and that's fucking loves trannies and gays, and says that we need infinity shitzillion migrants. Like, You can overlook a lot of shit in the Bible that's misconstrued or construed in one way that's like contrary to what you want to see for your country. But when the voice of God, I know he doesn't speak from the seat or whatever. He's not speaking from the, when he says you got to kiss and suck all the little Muslim toes nice and clean. He's not speaking from the seat, bro. It doesn't count as like the actual words of God when he's like sucks those little black toes all super spotless. Like, bro, come on now. It's just like, it's fucking gay. Like if Jen wants to do that and wants to go for the TLMs and shit, just go to SSPX or some shit because the Pope's a fucking fag. I can't get, like, I really tried. I asked all the good Catholic boys to send me their cope of Catholicism. I read all the copes. I looked into the copes. I looked into it, and I'm just like, he kisses all the little dirty Muslim feet clean and advocates for mass replacement in my country. And he's supposed to be like the vicar of Christ. That's not fucking real. Okay. When George Washington came over to the United States and said, fuck all this Catholic shit, he was right, as is often the case. Remove Antler Menace for 5 says, remember to write Sneed on the round of the 50 BMG you buy for this money. Maybe I will. He left confusing messages. Something said Sneed, and the other one said formerly Chucks. Crunky K for one says, Jersh, your favorite anime Wadamote is listed. Oh no. Arendelle for one says, you don't have to respond, but I saw your 2021 post on finding a church in the Maddie thread. There's an Orthodox church whose attended audience is a Meramutz called Orthodox Church in the America. Dude, I'm telling you, you cannot fucking find those unless you're in the Northeast. I'm not lying. Like, it's not like a lack of fucking research on my part. Unless you live in very specific areas, they don't exist. And again, OCA is a legit church. I'm sure it is, bro, but they're very limited. What do you want me to say? You either live near them or you don't. I'm not going to fucking move to be closer to a church I don't even know I like, that I don't know anybody there. Ona Wall, for once, says a coworker had close to 100 of those figurines in her office. Way to tell us that you are bad with money and have poor decision-making skills. Don Julio 56 for once says Josh. And again, for once says you forget to shit on the boomers, Josh. And again, for once says a whole segment shitting on the boomers, Josh. And then for one says Josh, huh? I did shit on the Pope. He's basically a boomer. Rurachi for 10 says, are you a Christian or Wagat? Also, what do you think of EU5? Also, who's your favorite Dota player? That's way too many questions, but I don't talk about religion. I said this before. I said it when I first mentioned it, like with the Catholic stuff. I'm not talking about it, and you'll never know. Sneedo, for one, says, Josh, which do you like more, the Morgan dollar or the Peace dollar? Also, really enjoy the silver segment since my mother and I collect silver coins. I like the Morgan dollar a lot because it's like old-timey American iconography. Asian Tech Support for 10 says, watches are hard to remember to wear, truly the divider between boys and men. I've been remembering. The only issue is how the little knob is so big. It's like bigger than the face of the clock, so it like cuts. Thank you. 11th Circuit for 2 says TTD. Cool for 2 says, Josh, I'm really sorry to hear this is your first DBZ comic. You should read. Dude, it's not that the story is bad. It's that everything is like, look, I'll explain the thing. Subscribe to the Gumroad, okay? You should read Absolute Batman online for free. It's really cool. I'm the best Batman. And okay, I'm not interested in. I'm interested in bad stuff, bro. Pastel Starlight for 2 says it would be neat to change the bulletin to pumpkins for Halloween stream. Pumpkin emoji, maybe, or candy. Debugs for 1 says, speaking of Ian Jamha, Idub said on stream that he and Anisa will eventually shit out a kid. That future kid is going to have the worst life. Yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen. Wick Conch for 20 says, which printer did you end up buying? I hope you got the HP one. I haven't bought one yet. They're really expensive. But if I get more subscribers to USIPs, usips.org, shop.usips.org, eventually I'll buy a printer. I'll probably just get one that can do 1-page double-sided and then do envelope letters. I guess that'll be faster. Escape for 2 says Joshua Fat. Haramburger for 2 says iDubbbz right now. Finally, the owner of that dang hater form admits he has stinkier breath than me. Kiwi sniffers our reply. The Orange Cow for 10 says make the Jewish reaction charge per reaction as it costs $5 to react with the Star of David per react, infinite money. Good idea. Very good idea. Anime Extremist for 1 says whatever happened to Twinkle Tard? I hadn't seen him in forever. I don't know. But my finances have suffered immensely. I miss him every day. Coidante for 20 says the Gros Michel banana is not extinct. You can eat it today. It just can't be grown at a commercial scale anymore. Well, I've never fucking seen one, bro. Unkind Naysayer for 2 says, I almost missed the stream. Fuck you, Josh. Take my money. Gladly. Thank you. Rudolph Boykin for 2 says, my son just ripped off my glasses with one hand and then punched my eye with the other. He's already taking your advice to heart. Base. Good job. Anime Sucks Cope and Sneed for 20 says, good song when in the car smoking midlife crisis havers in their Mustang and Chargers. And then there is a YouTube link. I'm not sure that this is the gayest shit I've ever fucking seen. Let's see. Mike Marine Love Spy. Musical career. I've learned something. All right, thank you. The Unkind Naysayer for 2 says, opinion on Anata based because fuck copyright or cringe because anime. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and I'm grateful for that. Brozak Bill for 10 says, you must watch, and then there is a X link. Okay, let's see. Mothers are now encouraging others to have the talk about groypers.
So tell me what you know about the groypers so that you don't find them online because you need to avoid them, correct?
Yes, they are alt-right members.
Mm-hmm.
They're Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
They support Nick Fuentes and Donald Trump.
But what about the memes? What are the memes you have to be careful about?
Dude, all these fucking big Twitter accounts advertising Fuentes is so fucking gay. So subversive. Docs Found for 20 says, I am up to $5,000 face value of 90% pre-1964 silver. Here is your 60 cents worth of face value silver. That's a lot. $5,000? What is that? So 5,000 times 2 times 12.5 is 125,000 grams. To troy ounces, 4,000 troy ounces. It's about $180,000 of silver. To give you an idea of that, by the way. This is a 1,000 troy ounce silver bar with hand for comparison. There's actually another one here. I'm just going to download. It's a low quality picture, but whatever. Really low quality, but that's a person with 10 of them. So he has approximately 4 of those. Like if he just was standing there with just the 4 ones, that's what he says that he has. Not just in silver, but in specifically American-made prior currency. Fascinating. Thank you. Kind of jealous. Okay. Looks on for 10 says, look up HP 402D and it literally does all those things you just said. Okay, fine, bro. I don't know. I like Brother because they didn't have shitty firmware that you have to install. Hopefully it works with just like a Linux connection port because I need that to work that way. Thank you. And Docs Found for 220 says, sorry, 500, not 5,000. I wish more like 15 to 16K. Yeah, okay, that's a big difference. So you have like a third of one of those bars. That's a big distinction. Okay, that's a big fuck up, a big $0 fuck up right there. Now you've given me a full ounce of silver, and for that I appreciate you. All right, I have a thing that I wanted to play. I'm gonna find this. Someone in the Matt the Internet thread that I'm looking through trying to find this thing has reminded me that I have actually already started my rape fanfic career when I suggested that the Navy SEAL who wanted a concubine raped Nick Fuentes. I was just trying to find a halfway point, trying to make peace, okay? I'm a peacemaker. Okay, this is the last super chat. Don't send any more in. Octavia Silver for one says, Kim's baby isn't really named Zumafu, by the way. Well, I would hope not. That's a good thing, actually. All right. I'm going to play this video, and this is going to constitute our outro song. It's not a true outro song. But I'll see you guys next Friday. Subscribe to the Gumroad, mantheinternet.gumroad.com. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
This nigga's so ass, bruh. It's done. It's done. It's over, bruh. It's over. It's over. Chad, this shit is over, bro. Chad, it's over. It's so done. Get this nigga off my screen. Like, we gotta sit through, what does it got, 18 track now? I gotta sit through this bullshit? I'm already gotta look at the cover art. Now you calling me a hard R. Bro, Chad, it's done. Fuck! Oh my God, bro! Why? 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 Like, why, bro?
Shit label me, nigger. My kids ain't straight, you nigger. Why if like this nigga talk? Why if like you, who you calling it? You bro, who you? If like you talking to me like directly, what I do to you? I ain't put you in prison.
Nigga, I'm on YouTube! What the fuck is wrong with this nigga? What the fuck? Nigga, I'm on YouTube! Yo, thug! Nigga, what are you doing? What the fuck is wrong with him? Who told him to say that? I gotta skip the song now. Nigga, I'm on YouTube. What the fuck?
Oh my God, why? No, you're bugging. You're bugging, Young Thug. You gotta stop, bro. Like, come on, bro. Please, don't. Why are you saying this, bro? Why are you saying this, bro? Come on, bro. Say better not play with me, nigga. We gotta skip. We gotta skip some. We gotta skip some. Bro! No, next song. Next song. Next song. We do it Chanel. They wanna be just like us and all they bitches can tell, nigger.
Whoa! Whoa! What? Whoa! Why y'all ain't warn us?
I know, what happened?
They was saying hard R.
Why y'all ain't warn?
Why y'all ain't say nothing? What?
Hey, time out.
What's that about?
But I was literally laughing.
Bro, me too. I just heard
nigger.
My nigga turned white and just he said fuck it.
Bro. Hold on. Damn, I don't.